Okay. Nah, you good. All right, and it's live on
I
Facebook,
love it.
YouTube. Let me first start off by introducing myself. I am BamsmithTV. If you didn't know, now you know. And I am today joined by a very good friend of mine's, my friend Sylvia Chadat. What's the other last name again?
La Rosa.
Della Rosa, aka Sly. I like how you took the nickname that I gave you and you now are going by your moniker as Sly. But I guess you liked it a lot. So we're going to first get into who you are and where you from. Of course, I know who you are and where you come from, but for the audience, who are you and where do you come from?
I am a mother. I am a daughter.
No, 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 not all that.
I am
Who
a.
are you?
All right.
Like,
I'm a
what
woman.
city you from? What city you from?
All right. I am from Florida. I'm from here. I was born in Miami, but
Okay.
I moved maybe when I was 8, but I was raised from birth to 8 years. Close that door, please. Um, in Carroll City.
Okay.
What's that?
Yeah, I know. Oh, come on.
Oh, Mama, I don't know. You're in Hollandale. I don't know.
I'm in Hollywood. First of
Okay.
all, I'm from Hollywood, and everybody knows that. So, anyways, you from Carroll City, basically.
I was born, and my childhood home is from there.
Carroll
Yes,
City.
yes.
But you were raised somewhere else. You was raised in
I
where?
feel like the parts of my life that I remember a lot of parts of my life in Miami and Carroll City, and just seeing my older brothers go through their thing and actually
Mm-hmm.
live, because we're raised in that. You get what I'm saying? They had their
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So, but as far as me, my sister took custody of me to move, and she moved me to Broward so that she could
Okay.
provide a better life for us. So
Okay.
me and my niece. So I was
So
like,
you grew up in Broward.
I grew up in Broward. I went to 5th grade in Broward all the way to college, BC.
Where in Broward?
I first moved to Plantation for a little bit, but then we planted our roots in Sunrise off of Sunset Strip.
So you grew up in Lauderdale. Why didn't you just say Lauderdale? Why
I
didn't
don't
you
know
just
the
say I'm from
nickname. I didn't know
Lauderdale?
y'all have different. It's Sunrise. That's what it says on the postcard, on the mail, when the mail comes in.
Okay. You said that you did all of this ring around the rosy just to say I'm from Lauderdale, basically.
I don't consider myself from there. I don't rep anywhere. Like, I
Okay.
mean,
Okay, I guess you don't rep nowhere. You don't got no stable place. Well,
no,
you don't got no
my
stable
stable
place
place
to
is me.
represent.
That's it. My stable place is Florida, like Florida.
Okay, so
I
you're a
rep.
Floridian.
I'm a Floridian.
Okay, what's your ethnic heritage? Were you Colombian, Puerto Rican, Dominican?
So you want me to not do the ring around the rosy, or you
Yeah,
like
just
you don't
tell me
specific
exactly what you identify as, like your ethnic origin.
Hispanic?
Hispanic?
Yes.
Which Hispanic? There's a bunch of different Hispanics. There's a bunch of different.
If you're asking my nationality,
Yeah, come on now.
I'm American. All right, Dominican. My parents are Dominican, but I wasn't born there.
God damn, really? That's all you had
No,
to
I'm
say.
messing with you, Joe. It's all love.
Okay.
Okay?
Your parents are Dominican.
Yes, they're Dominican.
Oh, okay. So you just Dominican, straight mostly Dominican, or do you have any other Hispanic origins?
Oh, you want me to get into details? Because we could have did
Right.
this at the beginning, but you
But
didn't.
I want you to just tell me the sum of it, what you mainly identify as, and then we get into
If I were to,
details.
in my blood, all right,
Okay.
I have Dominican. My mother
Mm-hmm.
is 25%, no, 50% Cuban.
Mm-hmm.
On my on my father's side, my on my father's side, he's all Dominican. But my father's dad died when he was like 1 or 2. And
Okay.
my grandmother remarried. So I feel like, he was raised mostly by this person in whatever culture that person, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Um, my great grand my step grandfather
Mm-hmm.
was Haitian.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, so you have so that's your blood step grandfather or your
Yes, so
step
my
grandfather.
aunts that come from him, who are still my aunts, are half Haitian. They're Haitian and Dominican.
Okay. Okay. So you basically have Haitian, Dominican, and what other what other ethnic origins are in your blood?
Yeah, my ancestors are Taino.
Taino. Come on now. We all okay. I'm thinking to myself, like most people know that the islands were inhabited by
Yeah,
Tainos
we're
before
all one.
Christopher Columbus.
No, one love.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically for people that don't know, Taino is like the Native Americans of the islands, of the Caribbean islands, if you will. And Christopher Columbus went over there, raped and pillaged and murdered and brought disease to those islands, and basically like destroyed the population of those people. But that's neither here nor there. I don't want to talk about Christopher
I
Columbus.
mean, we're not talking about Christopher Columbus. We're talking about where Tainos came from, and
Right.
it's history, because sometimes people don't know the history. They don't really know the facts, and they like to run on their own understanding and what they come up with in their brain, or what their parents told them, what their parents told them. They don't actually go out and look up the history or research like they're supposed to do before they make an
True.
accusation.
True. True. I'm over here sending the link to a few people first.
You put it over
Where my boy old Kirk? Old Kirky. Officer
there?
Kirky.
I don't know where he's at.
Probably around patrolling.
Well, you
Patrolling the
guys.
city, keeping things safe.
He works. I think he doesn't work during the day. No, he does work days now. So I
Mm-hmm.
think he goes into work. He's off today. No, he works.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. One of
You
those.
don't know?
No, I don't
You
know.
know, how has marriage been treating you? How's the marriage life?
Well,
You felt like you've been married all these years anyways, right?
yeah, yeah, I know. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage, can we talk about what it was like?
What it was like.
Because, it's like I've been married pretty much, because like you were saying, it's been I met Kirk 2011. 2011, and Azalea was born
Mm.
2012.
You
So,
sure it was 2011?
yeah, October 2011, we met at a club.
What club?
Weekend. Justin.
I'm trying to remember. What was that day when we was all hanging out at Kirk mom's house? Because I think that was the first time I met you.
It was probably like November-ish,
Of 2011?
2011.
I felt like it was before then, but my memory kind of foggy on the dates and stuff like that in the years.
Well, I look no, I wouldn't say I look very similar, but a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people have told me things, like his friends or whoever is around at that time. They'll say, "Oh, I remember you from this." I'm like, "No, that wasn't me." But I could say that I kind of similar
That
to
was
him,
you.
maybe.
No, that was you.
No, it wasn't.
It
I
was
know the
you.
time when me and him started dating. I know the time that I started coming around, and what these time spans that these people were talking about, that wasn't me.
So that wasn't you that we was hanging out with at his mom's house.
No, but that was in the end of 2011.
Oh, okay. See, that's what I'm saying. I know what I'm talking about. I know
But
it
it
was
could
you.
be, I mean, you don't know. I don't know. Only you know.
I just don't remember the date. That's what I'm saying. My mind is foggy on the dates. But that's neither here nor there.
That's not
Again,
that's not the
again,
that's not the point.
let's not get into a rabbit hole of that.
All right.
Go proceed forward with you explaining how the marriage life is.
Marriage is teamwork.
Teamwork.
Teamwork make the dream work.
Okay. In what ways?
Like, okay, I need a scenario. I need like a specific.
Okay. I can't think of much
All
when
right.
it
So
comes to
marriage,
marriage.
to sum it all up, marriage is teamwork. It's teamwork.
Mhm.
It's respect. It's
Mhm.
love. Unconditional love. Like the love that a mother has for her child that just committed a murder.
How do
Like,
you build to that though? That's my question.
a
How do
lot of
you
people
build to
don't
get to
build
that
to
point?
that. A lot of people don't build to that. It depends. That's how you know when people say, "I'm in love with you." Like, Like, I don't really, I'm in love with you. Like, Jesus didn't say he was in love with me. He said he loved me. So
Right.
that's just how I feel like. And also what society perceives, there's so many different types of love, and the word love gets thrown around so much for any little thing. Like, it lost its meaning, it lost its fulfillment, it's lost its everything, its essence. Like, it's lost it. So people,
Okay, so you describe what love is to you. What is
love
love
is
to you?
self-sacrificing.
Mm-hmm.
Love is not self-seeking. Like,
Mm-hmm.
love does not focus on its own interests. It's honest. It's, even through the hardest times, it's honest. Even when you know you did something wrong, you gotta be honest because you love that person that much. You respect that person that much. Like, you have to communicate these things to that person. Love is not keeping it a secret.
Okay. This sounds like a Hallmark movie
But
that
it's
you're
true.
trying
But
to
that's the
do.
thing. People are afraid of that. Like, remember yesterday you were talking about the whole simp thing?
Yeah.
And it's sad that men cannot be their best self because
They're
of all
vulnerable selves.
their
They can't be
vulnerable self,
vulnerable. Yeah.
because they don't have that trust, because they're hurt.
They hurt.
Yeah, they're
That's what you
hurt.
think it is?
Well, I wouldn't say that they're hurt. I say that their pride,
That's what
what
you
they
think it
built
is?
on, it depends what you built on for it to come tumbling down. So if you feel that if somebody pokes at your, I don't know, they don't appreciate um I don't know, give me an example. They don't like
Okay.
your they don't like that you play football all the time, or your
I'm
competitiveness.
I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out
All
here.
right, thank you.
Okay. First thing to know with me, or first thing to understand with me, and you should have. I think you kind of know already that I'm just gonna ask you to explain your logic. Don't worry about it. Don't overthink about it. Stand on what you think.
Yeah,
So
that's what I believe, and that's what I think.
okay. So what
So,
I'm
like,
gonna
the
do is
appreciation for a man has to take place in order for there to be respect. Like, if you can't call out anything that you appreciate about the person that you love, then, and you're always calling this person out on what they're not doing and what you
mm-hmm.
don't like, and what everything that they do feels underappreciated.
Okay. So that's your explanation of what love is.
It's so much, but
All right, 5 words. Give me
it's
5 words.
self-sacrificing. Like I told you, it's
Okay.
self-sacrificing.
All right.
It's honest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is kind of cliche, but it endures all things.
Okay.
It
Endurance. It has endurance.
um, it's
Two
not
more.
selfless. It's selfless.
You
And
already said that self-sacrifice and selfless is the same
no,
thing.
that's two different things. I mean, yes, it is, but to some people, you can't dumb it. Like, I mean, I don't mean to say that, but like,
No, say what you gotta say.
self-sacrificing and selfless
Damn, my
is,
finger's long.
yeah,
But
they're pretty long. But yeah,
we on 4 now. We on 4. We need the 5th one.
the fifth one is it it doesn't fail. Like, that's the unconditional part, is it
It
not
doesn't
failing.
fail.
No,
It Love doesn't fail.
it doesn't fail. There's no end to it. Does your
All right.
love ever fail for your mother?
Who?
Your mom?
What about it?
Love. Does it
What
fail?
about my love for her? You
Until it
can't you can't put my love for my
But
mom
it's the
in
same
the same.
thing.
No, it's not.
She's a human being. It is the same thing. What you're talking about is the romance, but you have to learn how to separate that. We're talking
All
about
right.
love.
All right, let me explain to you. To me, like relationship love and family love is two totally different things, right?
Get out. I mean it, please.
For me, my love for my family is unconditional love,
Mhm.
regardless of who my mom is, what we went through over the years. Same thing with my sisters, my nieces and nephews.
Mhm.
Regardless of whatever we've been through over the years, they're part of my blood, cousins and all. Everybody's a part of my blood. So regardless,
You
I'm
get
gonna love them unconditionally because I have to. Because they're gonna be the ones to show up to my funerals. They're gonna be the ones to show up for me regardless. I mean, I was raised with a real kind of close family. So cousins, we kind of grew up in the grandma house. uh all my sisters, my nieces and nephews all kind of grew up around my mom, which is their grandma, and my father, which is their grandpa. So we all kind of, the grandparents kind of kept our family together, if you will, and kind of kept us close. Of course, we might beef at different points in time, but at the end of the day, you know, if we see somebody jumping on our cousin or our sister or our brother or whatever,
That's
you best
unconditional love.
you're right, right. And that's different. Like I say, for family, that's blood, that's different. That
How is
ain't,
that
it ain't.
different from marriage?
All right, I'm gonna show you how. Because some
Doesn't when you marry, doesn't she become part of your family? You
wait,
become
wait, 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 wait. I'm gonna
I don't
explain
get it.
that part. I'm gonna explain that part. I'm gonna explain that part. That's what you would think, right? That's what you would think. When you marry her, she becomes a part of your family. But you know, it's still going to take a lot of work to build up that level of trust in a person, because at the end of the day, just as fast as she marries you, as fast as she could leave you and take
That's
everything.
called courting.
What's called courting?
Take that time to build, to see, to all that. The court.
Nah, it don't end there. No, it continues through
Yeah, it
marriage
does.
and all.
Yes.
That
So
ain't courting.
even when when you get into a marriage with someone, the
Hmm.
the getting to know part is the courting part.
Okay.
So think about it. People tell you, you have to keep dating your wife. That's you have to keep courting your wife.
Right. That's what I'm
And
talking
people
about.
use that. They lack that. So
That's
the
what I'm talking
courting
about.
part is the in love part. So what they say is, "Oh, I'm not in love with you anymore." Why?
Right.
Because somewhere in that relationship, it's only give, 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 and no one
Right.
is receiving.
Hmm.
So if there's no courting, there's no successful marriage.
Right. And that's what I was pointing out. That's what I was saying. Like you still going to continue to get to know this person over time. It's not like marriage is going to be the end. And yeah, now you're a part of my family, so now I love you unconditionally. No,
No,
you
it
still
takes time. It grows in that. I think
right,
maybe for once I felt how it was like when I had my daughter, when at
right.
21 I had Azalea, I fell in love with her.
Okay,
Immediately, I fell in love with her. And I was like, I want to do everything to make sure that this person knows that I love her. You get what I'm saying?
okay,
And that happened to me not once, but 3 times.
right.
So I had to give myself to another being that what I had to give was more than I had to give anyone else, more than I ever gave in myself. And
Hmm.
when you empty your bucket to fill someone else's bucket and your bucket is not being refilled, I mean, most of the time people are what? They leave marriages, they break up, they divorce, they're not
Right.
happy, they cheat, they do this, they do that. They seek that void because their
Hmm.
bucket is empty to go and fill it somewhere else, where places where they think they need to fill it, but they don't. And all of that
Hmm.
comes from that love that you have
Okay.
to build for yourself, that unconditional love, forgiving yourself, all that. You have to have that with you in order for you to express that to another person. Like your situation where you're saying, I come from a family too that bicker all the time. Like we are always going at it, and it's just perspective. We're arguing about perspective. Most of it is arguing about hurt. So, how do we handle that situation? We reassure that person. We tell them we love them. We tell them, or do we just don't like, oh, I ain't doing this right now. Let me walk out. That's
Hmm.
not love. You're not loving. That's the act of loving. You're not loving your family at that moment. That doesn't mean that you don't love them, but you're not trying to help the problem or fix the problem with love. You're coming
Oh,
from a place of selfishness because you
oh,
want to be heard.
okay. Uh, hmm. How do I feel about that? You
But
said so much.
what was the marriage like? There was an actual question. What was it? It was a specific question that you had
Hey,
that I
I got it.
okay.
I got it. I'm gonna ask you right now. When did you know you wanted to get married?
Hold on. Yes. Okay, give me a minute. They're fighting.
When?
But
Oh, okay.
I knew that I wanted to get married right away. Like that's like a woman's dream, like from birth. Like guys don't sit around and be like, "Oh, bro, what you gonna wear on your wedding day?" Like they don't talk about stuff like that.
Yes, we do. We do talk
Okay,
about that.
let me finish. Some do, but
Mm,
majority of don't. Not as much as women do. Not as much as
okay.
like they plan for this day from when they're little girls. Like
Oh,
they look for that. Unless they
you're
have
not
some.
answering the question though.
I'm gonna answer it, but listen. So for me specifically, it
Hmm.
was that's what I worked for. So like immediately, like it's not just in my current marriage, if that's your question,
That's
but
the question.
okay, in my marriage, okay,
Right. When did you know you wanted to get married to my dog?
okay, you didn't say that. You just said when did you know you wanted to get married?
I thought you would assume.
Patient. I can't assume because I'll make an ass out of you and me.
Right.
So I'm just trying
But
to get
either way, either way.
all
All
right.
right. Now you
So
know the context of the question.
with Kurt, what is that? That's none of your business. That got nothing to do with that. I thought we were
Why is that so private? Why is it such a private thing? What are you hiding, Sylvia? What are you hiding?
nothing.
You afraid that he's gonna see this? Are you
No.
afraid that he's gonna know?
I could
Hmm?
assume that he has a
Hmm?
possibility of seeing it, even when you do get like a big following. He gonna go back to your videos and be like, "Oh, he did an interview with Sylvia. I didn't even know this." Bloop, and he gonna
Yeah.
do it. Like I know.
Right. So
Not
he should already know when you wanted to get married to him. He should already know
No,
that
I
too.
didn't know that I knew that I wanted to get I thought that I wanted to get married to him right away. Like as soon as I had a baby, I'm like, no, I want to secure my family. It was more of a security, like secure my family. I love this person. This is who I want to spend the rest of my life with. This is who I choose to be my forever. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying? So but then obviously relationships have their issues. And when you don't have people that you're surrounded by that helps you through those problems with
Hmm.
love instead of telling, people whatever they feel is going to help that person, things can get crazy. So
Okay.
you're not only dealing with what you built. As a woman, we're always trying to build that solid foundation for our family, but it takes two. And we can't build a new house taking bricks from other homes. Like that's not going to work. We trying to build a solid foundation here and figure things out on your own. At that time, I didn't know that. I didn't
Hmm.
know that. So I thought I wanted to get married at that time because
Which time? Like when you first met or when you first had
like
your first child?
I mean, I would bring it up to him like, "Oh, I want to get engaged. Like, when are we going to get engaged?" kind of thing. And I honestly feel like I wouldn't say I pushed it, but I talked about it a lot because I was having a baby. Like, I
Right.
want my kids to have I want to have, the same last name as my husband when I drop off my kid at school. Like,
Hmm.
I don't want to be a stereotype. I don't want to be a statistic kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's like I want what's best for my family. I know the family structure is strong. That this is what I want, but I didn't know the details, like the work that it takes to put in. But when I knew that I wanted to get married and I wanted to put in the work was what 2019,
Uh-huh.
and we've been together since 2012, 2011, December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I got two questions. Number one, if you, like you were saying, you wanted to have the same last name as your husband and your kids when you pull up to the school to drop them off. Okay, a lot of women do this, and I always wondered why. Why do
That's
you Why do you hyphenate your last name? Why do you put
I didn't
Jadot
hyphenate my
Della?
last name.
No, I'm saying why do women go by
Oh,
that?
I my social security has just Jadot. But the reason
Mm,
why I hyphenated it is just for recognition purposes. Like, that's like that has nothing to do with any of that. But like school, for example, when they start changing my files over, I put De La Rosa Jada, and then so they can get everything situated with whatever's going on. But that's whatever. I don't know why some women do that. Maybe it depends what kind, because sometimes it can be culture. So I remember I wanted to do that for culture, like purposes or whatever. But to keep my father's last name, because in a Hispanic background, you keep the last name of your father, and the last name of your husband trails. So you're keeping your family's name
mm.
through a long.
I didn't like the way that sounded.
I mean, what do you mean?
I don't like the last name of your husband trails. What the? What?
Oh my gosh.
I'm over here taking care
But
of you, paying for
listen,
everything, and my name
but
trailing. My
listen.
name ain't
So
trailing nothing. It's gonna be my name, and that's it.
I think if it depends your perspective, like, okay, you want it because of selfish reasons, or you don't want to share this with the father that gave you his child, you don't want
No.
anything to do with that, then you have that conversation and you say, hey, look, I want to build a new family. I want to start from scratch. I want to build my own dynasty. I want to build my own empire.
Right.
Do you feel the same? Like, and I want to build this with you. Don't leave her out.
Mhm. I
Make
get you.
her, you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
That is what it is. Like me, I left
Mhm.
it to that was actually an actual argument, that we've had. Not really, because he never told me that verbatim. But when I did find out that that's how he felt, I wasn't mad. I was just like, damn, like, why didn't you communicate this with me? Why didn't you? I didn't tell him that. This is just me going through it because I had already found out a long way after the fact. But the
Right.
fact that it wasn't brought up, that's lack of communication. That's not love. You
Mhm.
have to trust that this person is going to receive this information with love and figure things out with love. But I
Mhm.
don't know why other women do that. That's I would say cultural. Maybe they don't want to, I don't know. Like for me, it was just carrying my dad's last name. But
I
then
go up. Hey, if it was me, if I was Kurt, I would go up to your daddy and say, "She called me daddy now." All right.
Oh,
Your name can't be involved in this, cuz I gotta take care of this woman now. You
that's
see me? She
great.
gonna wear
Yes,
my name.
yes, that is amazing. Yes, for
Right.
someone to do that is very that's you're taking responsibility for this family. You're saying, hey, look, she's safe, she's good. This isn't about just a name thing. You have to remember
Mm,
those things that you want that you feel have no, like, it doesn't have other things, other responsibilities tied to it. It's like you want this responsibility for
mhm.
your selfish reasons, but you don't realize what that comes with.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be famous, but are they willing to go through the struggle? Are they willing to go through the fight? Are they willing to start with 0 views to get to 2 million views? You understand what I'm saying? That's just
Mhm.
itself.
Right.
So
Gotta stay down till you come up.
exactly.
Right. So that's how marriage go. So basically, you knew you wanted to marry him 2019.
What was that? What
What?
was
What was what?
what was that? I can't even do it.
I'm reading my notes, okay,
You
over
looked
here,
at
man.
me, then you quickly glimpsed over there, then you look back and
I'm reading my notes, ma'am. Do you understand what it takes for me to run the show? I don't think people understand. I
put it in
host
front
it.
of you.
No, it's my phone. Why would I put it in front of me?
I mean,
But
people do it all the time. They be like, okay, so what are the
mm, I'm not doing that. They know what I'm doing. When I look over here, y'all know. When I look over here, just know I'm reading some notes or something like that. All right.
you better
So
put some notes in front of you so it can be discreet.
for me, this is a okay. You knew you wanted to marry him 2019. Okay.
Mm.
And what was the flashpoint moment? Like, what was the moment? What was the thing that crystallized it for you? That hey, I want to marry this person.
What was it?
What was it? What was it? The thing that crystallized it?
Um, you ever fall and the only way out is up. Like
Right.
that's what it is. It's those moments
Mm-hmm.
that when you're at that, like you're at that point where you want to like literally surrender. You want to surrender. You don't. That's all you can do,
Right.
and you start to think about the things that matter. You start to think about what's really important. You start to um, turn a blind eye to buffers, you know, things that are not necessary, things that were not worth it. And to be able to get a second chance at that, to do it right again in a matrimony, that's a blessing, to be able to turn around who you are completely and give your best self without knowing if this person's going to hurt me at the end of the day. It's like I'm surrendering. That's it. Like for
You
me,
lost me.
huh?
You lost me.
So because that moment, I can't specifically say when that happened because it's a feeling. It's a feeling. And
So when did you have the feeling?
it was like right before, maybe like I don't know, like 2018. Like,
Okay, so I'm gonna try and understand what you're saying. So basically, you had a moment when you was, at a low point,
mhm.
and he was there for you. And was he there for you? Or no, it was just something you said to yourself at that low point. You just had that low point, and so he wasn't there for you at that low point at all. So how would that make you say, "Hey, I want to marry this person"?
I loved him unconditionally. I knew that working hard, maybe if I work hard, maybe if I show him the support that I need when I needed it, because people don't really stop to think like, you always hear someone, oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. But do I do that for that person? Like, no one stops to self-reflect.
Mm-hmm.
And I did, huh?
I was gonna say, he okay.
What?
I'm trying to make sure I understand what you're saying. I don't want to say, I don't want you to be saying something that
That's not, yeah, I get
you're
you.
not sure of. You
Ego.
100% sure of saying this. You in this low point in your life, maybe emotionally he might have not been there, but he was there in some capacity, is what I'm saying.
As far as like capacity to take up capacity, yes.
Just being in this vicinity. So he was just in
Oh,
the vicinity,
yeah,
but he was not,
present.
or he wasn't present in the moment when you was at your low. Okay, so but you said to yourself in that low point, these are the things that matter to me, and I'm willing to fight for this relationship. I'm willing to do what it takes for it to be a successful marriage. I got to get him to come on the show. Now that
Mm,
you said that, yes,
mm-mm.
I do. Yeah, I need him to come on the show now
It's
because
perspective. It's a different
he
perspective.
he needs to give his perspective on this.
His perspective is that as long as he was here, because I really don't want to talk about and specifically, but he knows. And the thing
Okay,
is, I'm not upset about it. Like, I
okay.
forgive him because you have to understand people are on two different wavelengths. When they
Hmm.
start going like this, that's when the friction comes, because y'all not
Hmm.
here no more. Y'all not
Hmm.
elevating together. Y'all growing at your own different pace because of whatever's distracting, whatever's over here, whatever your focus is on at that moment, that's where you're gonna go, and you're gonna forget about trying to build. You're not building, you
Hmm.
get distracted. So, and it doesn't necessarily, it could be a new job, it could be a new goal, it can be starting your own YouTube channel instead of moving to Nebraska to start a family. Like,
You trying to go on what I said yesterday? You
so
do know that was a made up scenario, right? That was
this is
not
a made up
real.
scenario too. Like,
Yeah, but
I
why you
mean,
referencing? Use your own material. Stop using my shit.
excited. I'm excited.
Anyways, let's move on to the next one, because I see you gonna ring around the rosy right
No,
now. I
I'm
see you.
straight to the
You
point.
you
I'm giving the
you.
facts.
Nah. You ain't straight to no point. You
Yeah,
feel me? You. I see you. You good at dodging. You got
I'm
like
a
that whole.
lawyer.
Yeah, you got that dodging
But
thing
you're not
going on.
asking me an upfront question. Why would it be me? Why is it me ring around the rosy? And why is it not you not being specific in what you are trying to accomplish out of this conversation?
Okay, I asked you specifically, and you said
But
I don't want to
you
get
asked me
into it.
about Kirk and all this other stuff. Like, that's
I'm
not
asking you
part of
about marriage life and relationships, ma'am,
and
not
then you're
about Kurt.
drifting off to my personal life.
No, I'm not. That's not your personal life. That's
Because
marriage life.
when I speak about marriage, the same thing when you're in a relationship like boyfriend and girlfriend, a lot of that is in marriage. So there
Uh-huh.
can be communication skills that I've learned from previous marriages, that this person might have taught me how to be a better communicator. You have to specify everything, your needs, your wants. You have to be specific, because this world is so superficial. Like,
Yeah.
people are only thinking superficially.
Hmm.
And it's easy to take that information and run with it, twist it, turn it into whatever you want and spread it.
Right.
Like, that's just,
So that brings me to my next question. What advice do you have for those looking to get married?
don't have sex.
Stop lying to these people, okay?
I'm,
Stop filling
I'm
these
not
people head full of
lying.
nonsense.
Let
All
me
right.
tell you, you get people's most authentic self when you do not put yourself in that situation. Leave the sex part out, because guess what? At the end of the day, you have to understand women don't give a crap if you're 5'5", 6'2", 7'7". It's not about, some women are, but when we're talking about love specifically, we're talking about marriage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So none of that matters. None of that matters. Size don't matter. This don't matter. Rhythm don't matter. None of that matters. None of it matters, because you love this person so much that you're going to figure out a way y'all going to please each other and be sexually satisfied. That's
Okay, so how do you get to that point where you love that person so much where you want to figure out how to be sexually satisfied with that person, even if it might not be all that great? I'm speaking of hypothetically now. Since we want to get into hypotheticals, let's get into that hypothetical. How do you get to the
Oh,
point where
you
you love
wanted to
that
keep
person?
your show basic.
Huh?
You wanted to keep your show basic.
No, we're not keeping it basic. We're gonna get into that
Oh, you
hypothetical.
saying it now, we are, but before I was ringing around a Rosian.
Yeah, you was definitely ringing around the rosy end, because I noticed that we was getting into personal questions that you didn't feel
And you
comfortable
asked.
with. You didn't feel comfortable
There's
with.
a reason why it's personal. I have a choice to share that information or not.
Right, you do. You notice I keep moving. Once you don't want
I
to
can only
answer,
share
it's up
my
to you.
perspective. It doesn't mean that it's true. And I don't want anybody to be confused. Like, I can't sit
Hmm.
here and marinate on Kirk and say things about, whatever he feels, because that's not how that doesn't mean that he's a selfish person. He didn't care about me in that moment.
Right, right, right.
That he wasn't aware. He wasn't aware of my mental health at that time. He wasn't aware that I had anxiety. He wasn't aware that I had a lot of trauma, childhood trauma, the
Hmm.
same with everyone else. And those are part of your vulnerability, communicating that as well, just communicating that. So I can't sit here and fixate on what happened with our relationship, because it's perspective. Like, this is how that situation made me feel, and I might have made him feel some kind of way for him to make me feel that kind of way at that time. Or we
Hmm.
just we weren't seeing eye to eye. We weren't growing together. We were doing our own things. But
Okay, well, to give you the full context of that type of relationship or friendship, because I've been friends with Kirk, not only Kirk, but all the rest of the guys for probably, I don't know what, 15 years, 16, 17.
mhm.
I don't know, since middle school. A lot of, well, I met Alex in middle school, and I think Brandon was like ninth grade. So 18 years. I don't know how long 2004, how far it was 2004 away.
What is it? 2023. So what, 12 years? I
No,
don't
that
know.
ain't 12 years ago. That's 2008 was 12 years ago. We terrible at math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
18 years?
Yeah, let's just say 18. So with let you handle that.
Hold on. Come,
Yeah.
open the door. Oh my goodness. Okay, you're gonna have to wait.
You better see
You're
what
gonna
he
have to
want.
wait.
Which that's the baby?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So 18 years, Joe. You almost knew him for
18.
10 years.
All right. So this is the thing about them, and this is the thing that I've learned in the over the years of them getting to know me and me getting to know them. They
Mhm.
didn't know, my background and how I grew up, whatever mental problems, whatever mental health struggles that I had, because I had a few. You
Yeah.
feel me? But it's it really has to do a lot with how you grew up
Hmm.
and what you went through and like what traumatic experience you went through and stuff like that. We might like try to sweep mental health underneath the rug, especially in the Black community. In the I would like to say the Black and Hispanic community.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, we kind of disregard mental health. We kind of like, like it's a joke. You feel
Yeah.
me? And when I was going through my struggles, they thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
I was deeply offended by it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what created a course relationship what we have now, because I've tried to make efforts to speak with these guys on this multiple times, and they just think that it's You
It's
know,
mentality,
oh,
all mentality, Joe. It's
right.
mentality. It's, and also if they never went through something like that, so traumatizing that it causes for, you know, I have anxiety like bad. It's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But if no one, and for a long time I felt alone. And that was part
Mm-hmm.
of my darkness when I was told you I fell. I was very I've fallen, and the anxiety is just, it's hard to explain what you're going through. Sometimes it's hard to put in words what you're feeling, especially if no one has ever gone through that.
Right.
No one has gone through that, and that shit is tough. And all you need is for someone to just say, help me understand what you need from me at this moment.
Right. You're 100% right. And it's in, you know, when, especially when you're guys and your friends, it's harder than being in a relationship. At least in a relationship, you know, with this person, if they care you and they care and they love you, they're going to try to make some type of effort at some
That's
point
part
in
of that
time.
love, is that understanding.
Right, right,
Loving
right.
that
But
person enough to be like, hey, I ain't gonna judge you. Like, and
right.
that's what it is. It's the judgment. It's, I don't know.
It's a little different with friendships. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you like this is still to this day, we ain't get to this love and understanding part. You know, they think one way in their mind, I think
That's
one
it.
way in my mind, and we stay separated, you know, pretty much for the most part.
Here.
If it ain't a, you know, what's up, what's going on with you, every now and again, we really don't speak as much as we used to. You know, there's all type of gripes and issues. I think that we need to go to therapy altogether, group therapy sessions and shit like
But
that.
also, like, yeah, just you have to, you cannot have therapy, you cannot have a sit down with anybody if they're not open to that. You know,
True.
if they're not open to that, not even just like, oh, I can't do this today, it's not the right time. You have to mentally be open to that kind of knowledge, like for you
Hmm.
to want to give a part of you and to receive a part of the other person. And that's part of the giving. I don't want to say take, but the giving and the receiving, you know.
Right. Of creating a healthy relationship.
Yes. And sometimes people don't like to give if they're not receiving. But
Right. And that
that,
was the next question too, by the way, I have for you. The
mhm,
next question, the keys to a healthy relationship. But finish what you were saying.
I forgot.
Well, you was basically telling the
That's
keys
my
to a
80.
healthy relationship.
That's my ADD.
You was basically saying it anyways. I just wanted to segue us
Yeah,
into the
yeah, yeah,
next point.
yeah.
So yeah, what are the keys to a healthy relationship in
Giving and
your
giving and
giving and receiving? Yeah.
understanding, communication, teamwork, um, understanding is so important, because understanding and disobedience is like, it's two different things. Some people think, oh, she understood what I said, so you expected for her to continue to make you happy, not make you happy, but continue to, um I guess not, I don't want to say be faithful, but if you're not happy with a action and this person tells you, I understand you're not happy, I feel you, and they go
Right.
and do it, did they really understand?
No.
Or it's obedience. And the thing is, that's the struggle, is this whole persona that the male is this, and then the female is this. There's this imbalance, this lack of understanding that obedience works both ways. It's a two-way street.
Mm.
If this is a concern and this affects you, your livelihood, if this affects your emotional state, your mental state, if this affects your physical state, you should be able to communicate that with someone and openly, like, just give yourself, instead of, oh, I don't make you feel like this, or, oh, you're in your head, you're bipolar, you're this, you're schizophrenic, you have multiple personality disorder, you're
Right,
this,
right,
that.
right,
And I'm saying that because this is things that were told to me,
right. These
and
are
I was like, it's crazy.
yeah, it
But
is. Like,
you can
go
go.
ahead.
No,
No,
no, go.
I was gonna go, you know,
I'm
I was
buffing.
gonna
I'm
let
buffing
me
right
jump. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You kind of what they say that I be doing that sometimes too. Rambling.
now. Rambling.
Yeah, but you wasn't rambling. You was really speaking about real shit. You was really kind of giving the whole
Shh.
you was giving the whole layout of keys to a relationship. and
Mhm.
some of the unhealthy examples or some of the things that people do to cause a relationship to be unhealthy.
Mhm.
So nah, you was doing the right thing, but I just got to jump in there because
Yeah, 'cause I
you
won't.
know, yeah, nah, because I'll lose my train of thought. You feel
Yeah,
me?
same.
Listening, so I just wanted to say that no, you are 100% right, and people do that. People do that. That sign language, that type of
So I'm
uh
live. See me and hear me. Take that out.
calling you names and giving you like
Labels.
identify certain behaviors to you.
Mhm.
Like people might say that, oh, because you don't want to do something, oh, you're selfish, you're a narcissist. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Or because you have a certain way of thinking that's contrary to their thinking, they'll try to label you as some type of mental health patient because they know that you have a type of, you have something that triggers you, some type of trauma that sets you off.
It's a trigger. It's a trigger. And sometimes the thing is, narcissism, that can happen unconsciously.
Right.
For someone to actively behave in a narcissistic way, that takes a hurt person.
Right. Right. And you know what I think that everybody has a touch of it in them because we all feel like we're the center of our own universe. We
Mhm.
can
We're
only see
born
life
that
through our own lens.
Yeah.
So, what'd you say though?
I say we're born that way. It's a me first like generation. It's I gotta be good first before I can help everybody else kind of thing.
Right, right.
You know,
Which is
it's
not terrible.
not to
It's
some
self.
extent.
You're right. It's
There's
self
moderation.
preservation.
Mhm.
But go ahead.
Um, what was
We
the
keep
question?
overlapping with
I
what
know.
we're saying.
we gotta just go back to the like just
Yeah, yeah. The
yeah,
question
give me
was
the
keys
outline.
for a successful
Yeah.
relationship. That's what
Oh yeah,
those
that
were the
was it.
questions.
What teamwork? Uh, I want to say like all those things. Those things build the trust. Like you
Right.
can't go into something and just say, "Oh, I trust you because we're
Mhm.
married." Like
Right.
no, y'all done been through so much chaos before. What is it that you're gonna do to build the trust? What are the steps that
Mhm.
are gonna be taking? What is it? Is this too extreme? Is this too much? Can she blame me? Can he blame me for having to be this vulnerable and open and transparent? Because people don't like transparency.
Mhm.
People, when they see that they see right through you, they run.
Right.
They don't like that. People don't want to know what your next thing is, what your next thought is. So
Mhm.
that's the self-sacrificing part.
You know what? I got a a rebuttal to that. I think that you know it's hard to be as transparent when you're a complicated individual. Say, for instance, I could tell you everything that I'm thinking of, and I'll still have like 15 thoughts that pop up right after that.
Mhm.
I could tell you what my intentions is or what my next move, what I want it to be, but I'll also understand the reality of, that might not go the way that I think it's going to go. You see
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So there's being transparent, and then there's a certain level of you know announcing everything you're going to do. You can't announce absolutely everything you're going to do, everything you're thinking. Like if you go into the bathroom, oh, I'm going to go take a shit right now, like
Yeah, well, why you taking your phone in the bathroom? Like it's not
right.
no. Like the transparency is more of like being open with what you're feeling. There was times where I told, and I want to give this because this is something that is not common. Women do not do, and
Hmm.
it takes a strong man to be able to, not a strong man. I don't want to say that.
Nah,
Um,
take a strong man. Nah, you take
understanding
one.
man, understanding.
Hmm.
Um, I remember Papa was maybe like my middle child. He was maybe like 2. Papa's 7 now.
Hmm.
So no, he's 8. And I I was at work. I started working at this resort. I was working long hours. I mean, not long hours, but more towards the nighttime. I would get off of work like 11 o'clock at night, and
Right.
in my office there was the keys for all the hotel rooms for the maintenance to fix it. I meant
Hmm.
to get in and grab the keys, but we have to like make sure that they put it back and all that other stuff. So um whatever, they opened up, this guy came in there and he would always say something. Oh, you're so beautiful today. Oh, how are you, sunshine? How are you this? Like, how are you that? I'm like, oh, Okay, but everyone did it. Like the older ones, they do it to everyone, like whatever the case is. But this,
Right.
it was a little bit like I knew that it was, whoa, like hold up, it's too strong, what he's doing. But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, I was dealing with issues in my home. I'm fighting for my man. I'm fighting for my relationship. I'm trying to figure, things out. Where it's just a lot of chaos at that time. My home was shaken. All right.
Right.
And I felt like, okay, he's like, oh, do you want to go get lunch sometime? Let's go on break and get lunch. So I'm like, okay, I'll go get lunch, whatever. I didn't think anything. I'm not thinking like this. I'm giving the person the benefit of the doubt. It's not because, oh, I know he likes me. Let me see what I can get out of this. Like, I'm not thinking that. I'm just like, he's cool people. He's very nice. He's the only one that acknowledges me in this place. He's the only one that says hello to me. So whatever, let's go eat at the break room. Mind you, the break rooms everything's all cameras. Ain't nothing you could do in the break room.
Right.
So after that, I remember one day I went to Brand. I said, hey, look, I have to talk to you about something. And I told him, I said, I think I'm having feelings for someone else. And he was like, how can you have feelings for someone else? Are you spending time with them? He thought I was spending all this time, but no, it wasn't necessarily the feelings. It was like, I think I like this person. I like what they're doing for me at that time. That doesn't mean
Mm-hmm.
that I want a relationship with that person. But I told my boyfriend at that time, I said, look, this is happening. And it was a fight instead of helping me with that struggle, helping me with that fight, that temptation, or whatever it is. Whatever his reaction, he's going to be upset about it. That's on him. But there are men that will say, what's going on? Like, whoa, like what
Right.
is it that we can do to better help the situation? What is it that we got to do? Am I not doing anything? What did I do? Lately, you got this new job and you're concerned of this job. But it didn't even get to that point, but it can, because that's when you approach something with love. All right.
Right.
I didn't even realize that I wasn't calling you as much. I didn't even realize that I was talking to, my mom, when whatever, or my dad. I didn't realize that I was not even. Now this a lot of men don't like. I wouldn't speak for all men, but even women too, they don't like this check-in thing. But this
Mm-hmm.
check-in thing can be, it's not to say where you are, who you're with, what you're doing, and why you're at. It's sometimes you just want to hear, hey babe, I love you. I'll be home soon. Keeping it, you know, where I'm about to leave, like, or whatever. Or you don't even gotta tell me you gotta leave. Just tell me just something. Let me know you're thinking about me. And if you're not thinking about me, don't fucking text me. It's fine. But I'm not gonna make a big fuss out of it. But if it's
Right.
consistent, like all the time, it becomes a problem. That's why you have to work on it. If you see something off, you immediately get together, work on it. You don't call each other out on it. You don't bash each other. You don't tell them this. You don't say that. And it all depends on where you're at in your life, because not everybody is like that. Like,
Okay.
people just wants to get their point across and
All right. Well,
you feel.
let me I'm gonna respond to that. Whew, you said a lot there, boy. You be saying a mouthful, boy. And I be having moments that I want to stop you and I want to,
Hey, stop.
jump in
You be
and say
like,
something.
just hold up hold something up. Be like,
Right, 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 right. But you, boy, shit. First of all, let me kind of put myself. Let me if that situation was going on with the chick, I'd probably flip out too. So
yeah,
in Brandon's defense, you know, he did logically
of
what
course.
he, you know what I mean?
But
It's
what's
a
not
natural reaction.
blaming someone for something that they're
Right,
thinking, and they're coming up with their own narrative instead of trusting you and saying, hey, I'm not comfortable with you working there. Like, if this is uncomfortable for you, Sylvia, then don't work there. I got you until you can find a new job. Like,
right.
even something like that. Like, if I'm like, no, I'm not leaving my job, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Da, da,
Then
da,
it
da.
would have been a big deal, a bigger deal.
Exactly.
Right, but this is the thing too. Like, if some dude was trying to put the moves on the chick that I'm talking to, and she came, most chicks wouldn't even tell me that. They wouldn't come back and tell me, "Oh, this dude is trying to spit game to me. How do you feel about that?" I'd be like, "Shit, do you like him?" You know, You know, are you cool with it? But if you came back and told me, you know, hey, you know, this person is treating me like this, and I think I like it a little bit, I'd be like, what? So that's a
Like a
natural
warning.
reaction.
I mean, but
Huh?
it's like a warning. It's like there's nothing that someone can do for me that you're not doing for me. Like if you're
Mm,
not doing it, if you're doing it, if someone else is doing the same thing, I'm not gonna be like, "Ooh, I like how he does it better," kind of thing. No, it's just like there. All it is love. Like, just I love you. Everything's gonna be all right. We're gonna get through this. You want me to go to your job? I could even had him come to my job and be like, "Yo, chill." Like, if I'm
mm,
afraid because I don't like confrontation, and
mm.
that's my problem, and I'm struggling with that, and I'm working on it. I don't like
Oh,
confrontation, so it's very hard for me to start like be like, damn, don't like don't talk to me like this. Like I don't disrespect
mm.
men because that has happened to me one time, like in college. I'm not gonna get there because I don't want to ramble, but I learned
Okay.
my lesson from that because it wasn't me, but one of my friends said something to some guy and he decked her right in the mouth because
Oh,
she disrespected him in front of his friends. And you don't know who you're dealing with.
yeah.
So for me, this person, I already heard that he had like, he's been in jail, like he does like this crazy, like whatever. I heard negative things and that will add on to the pressure. It's like, I
Right.
can't, help me. Like,
Right. I
you know
get it.
what
I
I mean?
get it. Yeah, I know what you mean. That's my thing. But you know, I think having confrontation, I think is a healthy thing. I think that it gives you the ability to come up with you know, a positive way to have discourse. You know, I love confrontation. I love, you know, debating with people. People know that about me. People always say I like to argue. I think it's a debate. I think
People
I'm
tell me I
trying
like
to
to argue too.
right. I like to get an understanding. To me, it's just me trying to get an understanding. Right. So here we got some chats. Ellie Two Raw says, F that, if the shoes on the other foot, she would be burning the house down.
What does that
And
even mean?
he says that if say for instance, if some female was trying to court or, you know, flirt with, you know, your man at the time, your boyfriend at the time, uh
Well, who is
in the
she?
same, huh?
But my husband, I mean, Kirk always used to flirt with women. Like that's not. I
I
mean,
know. I
yes.
know. I'm just reading the chat. I'm just reading the chat. You can
All right,
respond
but
to
I'm
the
just answering
chats.
that person. So speak for the woman's perspective, whoever she is, because that ain't me. My feet
Yeah.
is on fire. My house is not on fire. My house is still standing. It is we A1 over here.
All right. So I just wanted to post that. And then he says, so she gave a nigga the time of day and it's a female's fault. I don't give a fuck.
What
That's
does
what he
that
said. I don't know. He don't know how to use grammar. He
mean?
don't
Oh,
have proper grammar, you know.
let me try to
I
break
don't
it
know
down.
that.
So she give a I don't want to culturally do, I want to
Right,
disrupt
right, right, right.
and day the females fall IDGAF. So she give a nigga time.
Yeah.
I
Ellie,
gotta,
work on your grammar, bro. Like that's terrible grammar, bro.
I gotta
Yeah, like you got to really fix your grammar, my boy.
warn it.
Warning,
God.
oh God. He's talking about the warning thing that you said. It was a warning to him.
What?
Remember
Okay.
when you said it was a warning to him? Like you wasn't.
But I didn't specifically state, oh, this is a warning. Like I didn't go that. I felt like that's how he should have perceived it. Like, oh no, let me help my wife. Like, or
Hmm,
what's going on? Not taking it as a defeat. You get what I'm saying? Because
right.
it's the battle, marriage. That's what we're talking about. So I don't know if you're married.
Right. He's not married. Ellie's not married. Don't
Okay,
don't worry
so
about
there's
him.
no, I'm not even gonna get worked up on that.
He said the chat
So,
is late. So go
um,
ahead.
so in a marriage, it's the battle. It's the battle. And if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I'm working towards that. So
Right.
I was with Brandon. Remember, I told you I wanted to marry him right away because this is, I have my daughter. I want to start building a family. It is what it is. And this
Right.
is part of the process I gave myself. People are afraid to tell the truth. They're scared to tell the truth because they're afraid of what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was afraid for a very long time, my whole life, because of my upbringing. And, I wasn't, my dad went to prison. I just have a lot of things, and so I always think about if I'm loving the man that I'm loving the way that I love my father. That was one
Mm-hmm.
of my points. That was one of my point of focus when I was trying to be a better wife. I had to be a better daughter.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. You know, a lot of women don't understand that the relationship with your father be like a red flag or a green flag to a guy. You
Yeah.
know, because it depends on how you view your father, the reverence that you have for your father. You know, and your relationship with him is where he's gonna say, "Well, she's gonna probably treat me like that because that's the man that she know. That's who taught her how to treat men." You feel me? So a lot of
The
men,
same-
a
I'm
lot of
sorry.
women don't know that. But go ahead.
It's vice versa too with the mother.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. That's women perspectives too. Like it's like, all right, well, not really. A lot of older generations teach that to their children. They're like, okay, you about to date, pay attention to how he treats his mom, because the way he treats his mom is how he's gonna treat you.
Right.
So my
Well,
dad, um,
I was gonna say that that could be, you got to pay close attention to that, because in both capacities it could be different. You know, you could have a parent that, you know, really didn't treat their child good growing up. You feel me? So the child is not gonna have a great relationship with the mom
that's
or the
part of the
dad. Say,
forgiveness. That's a perfect example. Like
right,
for the children is to everything you do, the decisions you make in life, you're setting an example for someone. Let alone in a marriage, a man is setting the example for his wife.
mm-hmm. So,
The parents are setting the example of their kid to their kids. So
mm-hmm.
that's why you have to be very cautious in what your motive is, because what your motive is going to be their motive, and you're in a relationship that's falling apart. The motive is not whatever you're doing that the kids feel that. Oh, never mind. I don't know. Let me go back. Rewind. So it's all on motive. It's your motive. Um, Marriage is simple. Like it's so simple, but it's made so hard because of the trauma. It's the trauma. It's the trust. We don't know. We never were like told by our parents how to trust a person, what we give, how we should show our wife that we're sorry, how we should show our husbands that we appreciate them, how we should.
Right.
These are all things that are learned behavior. And if no one's teaching them, we're seeing it somewhere. Who's teaching
Mm-hmm.
majority of our generation right now? Social media. Like,
That's
both people
true.
work 40 hours a week. So who's raising our kids? We don't know.
And I think that that's like almost like how they set life up for most people. Unless you rich, unless you know, got a lot of like an exuberant amount of money, or you have an occupation that doesn't require you to necessarily go clock in at a specific site
Yeah.
for however many hours.
You have your own financial freedom.
Right. So that's the only way you can afford to really kind of raise your children the
But
way
why
that you
is
really
it?
want to.
The thing is, the way that they want to raise their children, bars are high.
Mm-hmm.
What is more important? A toy at Toys R Us or the knowledge that helps you save your marriage 10 years from now?
Mm-hmm. Toys at Toys R Us.
Oh my God. Whatever. But anyways, they don't you're an idiot. I mean, I
Now,
use the toys too. Like at this
of
point,
of course I'm being facetious at the end of the day. To me, knowledge is freedom. You know,
knowledge
that's like
is
the
power.
moniker for crash culture. You
Knowledge is
know,
power, but not only that, but wisdom.
yeah.
Wise.
No,
Both
I think it was not, wisdom is freedom. Wisdom is freedom is my
wisdom.
moniker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Knowledge is power and wisdom is freedom, right? So anyways, now that we're here on this section of the show, we're past the marriage and relationship part. Well, at least I think so. We're past the marriage part, at least. Any tips, because you know I have some friends, right? You know, say for instance, we're looking for women in today's modern dating life, right? What are some things? Why you look like that? What are some things that you know that these females nowadays think like that is not conducive? I'm not gonna say not conducive. I'm gonna say, what's the best place you know to find women? Let me say that. What's the best place? Where the hoes at?
I mean, and that's the thing. I think the mindset has to change. The verbiage has to change. The way we say things has to change, because what you say is what you attract. You want a hoe,
Right.
you're gonna get a hoe. So stop saying where the hoe's at. You want a bitch, you're gonna get a bitch. So stop calling her a bitch. You're
Right.
gonna get what you say, and that's what you're. That's
I
what
don't
you're.
think that's a bad thing.
No. You listen.
Hmm.
Look, God put people in your life for a reason, a season, or to expose a demon. What you do,
Right.
that's up to you. You can't take every woman and think that's gonna be your wife. Like you
I
can go
don't.
like you could go in with the intention and be like, oh, I want to make her a wife, but you can't. What are her intentions? How does she live in her life? What is her main focus? What is her goals? Are y'all asking that, or are y'all just asking how much money she made? Like,
No, whoa. We don't ask nothing about no money. I don't care how much money a female
why?
make
But why
at
you
the
got?
end of the
I
day.
wasn't talking about you. There's whoever's watching. Okay,
Men in general don't care how much money a woman make. Men
Uh,
in general don't care about that.
you don't.
No,
There's men out
no,
there that
really,
want women to take care of them, Joe.
really, realistically
Yes,
is for the most part, most men
it's
don't
called
care
a
about
man
how much.
child.
Right,
Women
but
need
we're
to
not
stop
talking about
dating
them.
children, and men needs to stop dating women that are children.
Listen. We're not talking about the men children. We talking about the men that have some level of independence, some level of their ability to take care of themselves. Well, not some level, but they could take care of themselves. You know, they have their own car, own crib,
You know what's
have their
funny?
goals and stuff like that.
I get it. What's funny is when like someone tries to talk to me and he approaches me and he's like, there his hands, his nails are like dirty, or like
Mm,
his belly is huge. Like, how can you take care of me? How can you take care of me if you're not taking care of yourself? Now, I'm not body shaming anybody. That's not what I'm
mm,
saying. What I'm saying is that this is not who you were before.
right.
So you're not taking care of yourself. I was like that. I gained like 100 and something pounds, and I had no motivation. Like I said, it was lonely. I was in a dark place, and I just felt I gave up. I quit. Gave up on life.
Right.
So, how can I see those things in myself? What is the motive? There has to be a motivation in order for you to do anything in life. What is your motivation? Some people motivation is I want to get rich. I want to have this. I want to have that. I want to have this. I want to have that. If that's your motivation, that needs to be your focus. And what's happening is people think they want something, but they're not doing nothing to get it. Doesn't matter who it's with. People change. People can change. You can teach a dog new tricks. But if they're willing to learn, everybody has to be open to learn. That doesn't mean that a woman that used to be a stripper is not capable of love. That doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean a hoe is not capable. That doesn't mean a player is not capable of love. It doesn't mean
Mm-hmm.
a man that only wants women 24/7 all day long, never wants to commit, afraid of commitment. That doesn't mean that they're not capable of love.
Question. I got a question. What does that have to do with any of this finding where the females is at?
Because you are silly and I'm not going to entertain your nonsense.
what am I being silly about? No, I'm asking where are the good women for the eligible bachelor
Everyone
child?
is capable of being a
So I
good,
can find a good woman in a strip club, is what you're telling me?
maybe, if you have the
This ain't
patience.
this ain't P Valley. I can't
All
find
right.
no woman in a
Okay.
strip
This,
club.
this, okay. Look, I have a friend. She's okay. She's a stripper. No, she
Oh.
was used to be. And I'm only saying that because everybody knows already. Like people that is important to her already know. So, and she doesn't care because that's her business. But
Mm-hmm.
the fact is that she's capable of love. And this is why this is so true to me, because
Okay.
she's a good ass woman. Like she cooks, she cleans she does everything. She's a baby. She has a son. She does everything. She loves everybody. Not only does she like to
Mm-hmm.
cook and clean because her husband says so, she's not married,
Mm-hmm.
but that's just in general. Um, she does it because she likes to entertain other people. She's hospitable. So she likes to call her friends. She likes to say, hey, come over. I'm going to cook you something. I'm going to cook this. Now she's giving. And that's just her thing. But does that make her not capable of love because she's a stripper? That
Mm.
doesn't make her capable of that. She got with this guy and he loved the fact that she was a stripper. He liked the hustle in her. He liked that she had a dude, but obviously she respected herself. She didn't do
Mm.
anything that would sabotage their relationship, nothing that he wouldn't know about. And they were very open, they communicated, but it did get to a point where he was like, hey, as he started growing feelings for her, he started loving her more and caring for her. He was like, I don't want you working anymore. She's like, well, this is what I got to do because this is the only way I could pay my bills. Mm-hmm. What is he willing to sacrifice? Like it's capable. Love there's no specific place. It's all on the person's mindset. You have to connect. You have to find people that are on the same wavelength. If you want to find someone like you, find someone that's interested in the things that you do. Mm-hmm. Usually people step out on their relationships because of someone in their work environment. They're in that same mindset. Whatever it is that they're going through, they're in the same career, whatever it is. If I want to be with someone that I know that understands me, it's all ask questions. The thing is, when someone is getting with somebody, no matter where they meet them, in the mall, in the club, in the strip club, whatever, ask questions. Men approach women. Some men approach women. Some women approach men with the intent to just have a sexual relationship. Nobody wants commitment. They want self-seeking pleasure. They want whatever selfish reasons they want to be in a relationship. That's on them. But
did you read any of these chats? Do you?
It's not important.
This nigga boy Ellie going in his chats.
That's because he hurt, and I'm touching somewhere that he.
Oh hurt. God damn!
And that's not me. You gotta with somebody else. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
wow.
I'm a liar because the girl that hurt you is the liar, or the boy that hurt you is a liar. Like,
all right. Let's.
Let
me dissect what you said. Okay. Let me dissect what you said from my brain, my point of view, my perspective. I think at the end of the day, and I'm asking a lot of rhetorical questions because I know where to find women.
I know. That's why I'm not entertaining you.
I know a rhetorical
question when I see one, Joe.
No. I know this already. I just want to hear you say it because they don't want to hear me talk about this stuff because then it sounds like self-serving nonsense. If I tell them like, yo,
well, go find a HOE that will point you the direction of where the other.
I found enough of those. Okay, listen. First of all, I'm saying like you have to find the person that whatever it is that you like to do. Like I seen somebody say this the other day. Like, I don't remember where I saw it. Whatever it is that you like to do, you have to find a person in doing that type of stuff.
It's two different things. Like, who are you? You're not God to say that a stripper is not capable of love or getting married. Cardi B is married. She was a stripper. Like, there's so many people that you probably don't even know are strippers that are happily married in their relationship.
I don't agree with that estimation.
Listen, or have stripped once upon a time in their life. Like, it's your circumstances. It's what you got to do. And if that's what works for them, that's what works for them. If you go and watch them anyways, that's another thing. That's a double standard.
Let me give you
because a man will go to the strip club and risk his whole marriage and looking at a stripper instead of.
Let me give you the perspective of a man because you're just going off of a woman's mindset.
No, I'm going off of your friend's comment. He's crazy.
Oh, okay. Well, let me explain something to you. And he said Cardi B's a hoe. And Offset still messing with the females. But that's his point of view. Anyways, I personally don't look at celebrities and emulate anything that they do outside of possibly some parts of their success or whatever.
It doesn't mean that it's successful what their relationship.
No. I'm saying I don't look at celebrities' life in general. Like I don't Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, I don't care nothing about what they're, what they got going on in their life because their life is more
superficial. But your viewers do, and that's the only way you can relate to them because you have to put things in their perspective because sometimes people are going to talk off of what they don't know. Like you have to bring it to that level because they're not going to understand everything that is being said or commented. That just sounds like hurt. It sounds like pain. It sounds like confusion.
Let me say this that my viewers or the people that follow me understand that I'm giving them the reality. You feel me? Like Cardi B and Megan's life is exemptions. These are millionaires. It ain't, the majority of people.
Well, that's why I said
America.
I originally said my friend.
Okay, yep.
Sometimes there's not there is not much, even with a real life situation, and I'm a witness to that, that it is capable. People will still tell you it's not.
What it is I think that people's telling you the reality, the percentage, the chances of it
Your
being
reality is what you
attainable.
make it. My reality
Uh-huh.
is not your reality. Your reality is not my reality. And that's how you see what is going on, what reality this person is living in, what state of mind they're in, how they see things, how they view things. If they are not open to understanding, which it sounds like he's not open to understanding, he will never have a successful marriage because he's not willing to listen to someone else and be compassionate and empathetic and understand, put himself in this person's shoes, a single mom that has to struggle and work hard to get what she needs to do. Nowadays, people there, I can't speak for those women that just go there, but from the women that I know, they do this because this is just what serves them. Some women do this and pay for nursing school. Like I have friends in nursing school that this is their life, and they don't
They
care
be
to
stripping?
share. No, they don't care to share it because they're proud. They know where they're going. But
No,
what?
but they be stripping.
Yeah.
They be in nursing school and they be on the pole, twirling around.
That's how they pay for daycare.
It's a job to them, right?
It's a job.
Okay.
It's just a job.
That pays an exuberant amount of money.
Exactly.
Right. But I'm gonna tell you like this here, because you telling me the women's point of view. I'm just gonna tell you from a guy's point of view. We don't care if it's a job. We don't care how they feel. We don't care what they want. We all we know is the optics of it. That's all we understand is how stuff is going to look or how stuff is going to make us look. To especially to our friends. Say for instance, if we bring this woman home to our mom, and one of our homeboys say, "Oh yeah, hey, you going back to the Club Diamond? I'll see you later on, all right?" You know, right in front of our old girl, we're gonna be ready to fight. Nah, I'm just
But it's
saying.
also you communicate. We're talking about how you're meeting this person, okay? Because you don't have to meet her in the strip club. You can meet her at the mall. You can meet her in a different environment, and you're in love with this girl, and you don't even know she's a stripper. She has to tell you because she knows that every time she tells a man that she's a stripper, he runs. So she wants him to know her, to get to know who she is, to know her heart. And if this guy is not okay with her being a stripper, well, this is how I pay my bills. Well, I can
You look at my face when you said he wants to get to know her heart.
not to know her. No, that's what she wants.
That's what she wants.
Yes.
I already told you, isn't it? For men, it's not about what she wants necessarily when it comes to that. Like what she wants out of a guy, he's gonna keep running because of that
He
occupation,
doesn't
because he
know
doesn't
that,
want to be
but we're talking
embarrassed.
about before he knows that she's a stripper.
Okay, before he
Yeah.
knows, right? So
Yeah.
she got a short time window to work with to get him to fall head over heels in
Not
love with
falling head
her.
over heels, but to see if he's willing to be that partner. Because think about it. What is the motive? Why are you looking for a relationship? Are you looking for pleasure? Are you looking for fun? Are you looking for that's why when are you looking to get married? You have to put yourself around those people. You can't be looking for marriage and looking for a healthy relationship with someone that you have open communication and that you eventually will love unconditionally by surrounding yourself with single people who are not working on that same goal.
Right. And you can't do it at the strip club at all either, right?
No, but I was talking about as far as that a stripper is capable. I'm not talking about the club necessarily. Like I met their dad at a club. Like I met him at a club. They always say, "Oh, you can't find love in a club." I found love. I love him. Like
I
that
want to
is
make love in this club.
that's the father of my
In this
kids. Like
club.
it is what it
Right.
is.
Right. So this is my thing, right? I think that it's not that you can't anything. And what's important to note, and what I want
He said,
everybody
"Why
to
wouldn't?"
understand.
He had a question though, it's a question, so it's something that he wants to know. What was that question? So why
Which
wouldn't
one?
something about why wouldn't she let him know or something like
Oh,
that?
this one.
Yeah.
So
So
why wouldn't she let him know off the bat that she was a stripper?
that she was a stripper.
That she is a stripper.
Because the society we're in, is very judgmental.
Okay.
It's a
So
stereotype.
so he's gonna judge her and run is basically why she wouldn't let him know off the bat.
Exactly.
Okay, but let me get back into that point what I was making. This is my thing, right? What's understood doesn't have to be explained. And certain things that are exceptions aren't what's going to be the norm, aren't what's going to be the majority of scenarios and situations, how they're going to play out, that's, you can't use 10% to define the 90%, is what I'm saying.
But if
90%,
the 10% is capable, why can't the 90% be capable?
because the 90%, for whatever reason, just ain't capable. A group, listen, I tell you like this here, and I tell people this all the time. One individual person is brilliant, is a genius. A group of people are dumb, panicky, and stupid, ignorant. You ever been out and about? You feel me? Have you ever tried to get, you know, you ever been to an elementary school before and tried to teach kids?
I work at a daycare.
Okay, so then one of those kids are brilliant, but them as a group is a fucking handful to deal with. And adults are the same way. They like children, even as you get older. You feel me? One adult, you can have one smart, intelligent conversation with one person, but a group of people, because we got that hive type of mindset, you know, where it kind of dumbs us down because we want to fit in. You feel me? I
No,
think that
people dumb themselves down to fit
that's
in.
what I'm saying.
Because they're not
I'm not
finding
saying we
they're
as me
not
and you.
finding like-minded individuals. They're not finding
Right.
people. They don't know where to find them because they're rare. They're a dime a dozen. Like they just
Mm,
look, it's a needle in a haystack, but you have to keep looking for that. And if
right.
you don't pray for it, it'll come to you. Like, and I don't know, but at the same time, wait on it. You wait for this. You know what you want. You're not gonna find it out, in other places. Like that's just it'll come to you. If it's for you, it'll come to you. And that's that.
Okay. Okay.
Focus on you, focus on building your character, focus on being a selfless person, focus on who you want to be in your marriage. Who do you want to be? I want to be this person. I want to be this. I want to do that. And a lot of us, we start doing those things and then some people won't acknowledge it. So you need that positive reinforcement. Who's your positive reinforcement? Or is your husband or is your wife just bickering every time you do something wrong and not saying thank you when you did this right? Like they're
Mm.
focusing more on the negatives instead of the positives, the changes that you're making. So people don't change because there's nothing to reinforce that behavior.
It's not just I don't think it's a gender thing. Why that's like that? I think that's just how people is human nature.
That's people. That's everybody.
Right. That's
Like
human
I
nature
learned
for
that
the
with
most part.
children working in a
Right.
daycare, and I find that adults are the same way.
Hmm. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. A group of people, grown adults, is stupid. One individual out of that group, if you take them one on one and talk to them, brilliant, intelligent. You feel me? It's just, you know, being placed in the right situation to be able to get that out of that person. But then again, I tell you this too: one individual is some motherfuckers be just dumb, just regardless of whatever. But that's neither here nor there.
I wouldn't say it's dumb. I feel it's just a lack of experience, a lack of intellect, a lack of understanding, knowledge. People think when they become 21, they're grown. Like 18,
Hmm.
they believe that they're a finished product. No one is a
Hmm.
finished product. You are forever growing, forever changing into adapting, molding into your situation, your
Hmm.
circumstance, your environment.
Okay, I wanted to get into something else too, and it's a little bit a different pivot. I'm gonna switch gears on this because I could tell that this means a lot to you because you're really getting. I really get these churchy vibes from you.
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh,
you
David.
know. When did you started taking your faith seriously? Today is Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. When did you start taking the faith seriously? Your faith.
I've been battling my faith. I've been wanting to take my faith serious for a long time, but I battle with
Hmm.
the world's perspective.
Okay. So when did you decide to say, forget the world's perspective, and I'm going to take this to the next level? This is, Lord.
Even when I got baptized to 2020.
Okay. So
And
that's when you turned on a new leaf.
yeah, it was turning over a new leaf. I was coming out of that dark place. That was like my fifth dark place, like that I could remember, like that point of low. And I was like, this is, Jesus, take the wheel. Like, this is all you.
Okay.
You know what's best for me. I don't know. I thought I knew what was best for me, but you know what's best for me, kind of thing. So, but I'm gonna do what you want me to do, who you need me to be. So when you give your all on a spiritual level and you see that that does not work, that breaks you. But that's on your faith. That's your faith. Sometimes even when you do things, that's the part where what I'm learning. What I've been learning is to accept defeat. Like, it's defeat and it's temporary. You get back up and you do it again. And because at the end of the day, you're working on yourself. It's not that I'm doing this again to make this person happy. I'm doing this again to be right within myself and not make the same mistake because this didn't go well for me the first time. So
Okay. I don't know.
What is okay?
He's talking about the strip. He's talking about the strippers. Ellie's still stuck on the
Jesus,
stripper gig.
Jesus drank wine and have fun with freaking tax collectors, everybody who the Jews thought was so unworthy and perverted and all this other. He didn't go there to socialize with people that was already in a right state of mind. He went there to help people that needed that spiritual food. Like, he went there to that spiritual healing. That's what he did. It was all spiritual healing. Like, that's all it was, because you have your mentality, your emotions, the physical part. There is a spiritual side, and whatever your spiritual side is, that takes you to be the best self, the best version of yourself. If you're leaning on that, that's your motive. But a lot of your motives are my motives. Oh, I want to be a wife. I want to have, a big house. I want to do this. I want to have a nice car. I did think that way. That was an immature mindset. Like, that's just what it was. I'm not saying I've never thought that way. I'm just saying that it's about growth. So once you're on a spiritual mindset, all those things don't even matter. Like, it doesn't bother you anymore. It's not a concern. It's like, I know I'm good with God, and I know if I'm good with God, this is going to be taken care of. If I
okay, I get it. So boy, I asked you one question, boy, and you be running, boy. You like the Energizer Bunny. I said, when did you take your faith serious?
I'm antisocial. You know that?
No, you like the Energizer Bunny. I asked you, when did you take your faith serious? And you said 2020, and then after that, boy, you need to.
I took my faith seriously. I did everything, that was the point. But it's like, I did hit a low point while I was, after I got baptized. I hit a point because baptism does not save you from the temptation, from the pressure. It doesn't save you from the pressure. It's just saying that you're not taking control of this situation anymore. You're allowing God to take control of it. You're not trying to fix things yourself. You're allowing God to fix those things. You're backing him up. So you're his worker now. So you're not putting yourself first in fixing your situation. You're putting God first, but at the same time, you have to work, because faith without works is like having no faith at all. You can't just.
All right. So what I was asking the question for was to say, how do you feel about people who, not necessarily don't take your faith, your specific faith seriously, but people that have a different faith? Like, say, for instance, how do you feel about Buddhists? How do you feel about Muslims? How do you feel about, I always try to ask Christians how they feel about other different religions and people that practice other different religions. How do you feel about those people?
That's their faith. I mean, I can't sit here and judge or say or even speak on something that I know nothing about.
Okay.
Like, that's just.
So that's your answer?
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Okay. So this is my thing when it comes to spirituality and people's spiritual freedoms. Whatever you need, whatever makes you a better person at the end of the day, I feel like that's the direction you should head in.
If there's a good result and you see, oh, I am becoming better, but also sometimes people can have they'll think you're becoming better. You think you're becoming better. The people that love you think you're becoming better. You're starting to set an example. People are starting to change because of you. People are getting closer to God because of you. But yet you also can be surrounded by people who say you're different. You're this. You don't do this anymore. You don't do that anymore. And then it affects your faith, because it's like, damn, this is coming from people I care about. So am I doing the right thing? You start to question, your spirituality. You're at a crossroad. It's a battle. It's always going to be a battle, no matter what.
I don't have that experience.
For what?
With people telling me whatever you just said, questioning why
Yeah,
I'm becoming a better
right.
person. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
different. I ain't got that experience. Oh, you different. I don't get that. I mean,
No
well, I
love.
probably do.
Yeah, they tell you that all the time.
I probably do. I
They
probably
tell you
do.
in different ways. It doesn't have to be direct. Like
Oh well, I tell you
you
like
can be
this.
on a spiritual level and not even know, not even have given yourself or given yourself to God or did whatever. You could still be at that at that wavelength because you know there's something before you, and you know
Mhm.
that you are not the authority. You know that
Right.
you're not who runs you. Someone else runs you, and when you give that up,
Who else runs me?
your mama.
No, my mama don't run me. No, nobody run me but me. I take ownership in
Your mama.
whatever it is, whatever decisions that I make. I think that there is a higher power at the end of the day that
Yeah, of
guides me morally.
course.
You feel me? But at the end of the day, don't I take full accountability for whatever I do in this life and will
Same.
always.
Yeah.
So I think that at the end of the day, whatever people practice, whatever people believe, whatever makes you a better person, at the end of the day, you do it. I don't know about people that, tell you changed or whatever. I think that because I had that background and coming from the area that I come from, hanging around the people I hang from, people gonna always say you change when you doing better.
Mhm.
That's the noise that you got to kind of ignore. You feel me? If you doing better and your people that you love and you care about are doing better, nothing that nobody else says matters at all.
Yeah.
Like not even one iota. You feel
Mm.
me? Like I know I joke around a lot and I play a lot of games with people, tugging at their cape, seeing if they really think the way they
Probing.
think. Probing. Yes, I'm very good at that. I'm very good at probing and finding out what you really, really think. And even if it's not something you really, really think, I'm gonna annoy you until you give me what you really, really think
And then
about something.
if like, let's say if that's the case, like where you were to do that to me and you had me thinking about it, I know that's something like, ooh, let me go home and marinate on this. Like,
Hmm.
like, or if I get a feeling like, ooh, that made me feel, I don't know.
I had a feeling that you would like that. That's why I didn't really press you with any questions. I kind of let you go
I
on.
mean, no, I wouldn't take it that way. I would just take it as let me be sure of myself. That's just uncertainty. You
No.
have to be sure of yourself.
You have
That's
to
all.
be certain when you come up here, when you talk to me. You gotta be certain.
Certain.
Because I'm gonna find out if you uncertain or what you're uncertain about.
Oh, trust
Are
me,
you
I knew I
are
what'd you
you
say?
what'd you say?
Nothing.
I was gonna say, are you uncertain about your forehead size?
I love my forehead. Okay. I
Mhm.
incredible thinking skills. I have amazing memory. Like I have the memory of an elephant. Look,
You look just like Azalea too, bro. Y'all is like twins. I swear to God, y'all is like twins. You
yeah,
know,
that's my twin.
yeah, you and Brandon's genes is really, really strong. Cause the boys look exactly like him and you look
They're with
exactly
him.
like the girl.
Yeah, when they're with him, they all look like him. When they're with me, they
Yeah.
all look like me. Like they just
That's a good thing. How do you? I mean, how do you balance being a parent up until this point? I mean, you have a lot of practice right now, but how do you balance being a parent, and being a wife?
well, I am a parent. I'm a nurse. I'm in nursing school. I have a part-time job.
Mm.
Am not having wifely duties at this moment. There's a temporary hold on that, and
Why?
that's none of your
Why?
business.
You put a temporary hold on wifely duties. Whoa, 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 whoa. There's no temporary hold on wifely duties. There should never be a temporary hold on wifely duties. Once you got the ring, you have to, whether you like to or whether you want to or not, every day you got to get up and it's like almost like a job. It's like going to
Yeah,
work.
it is. What else is it
No,
like?
no work, no pay. No work, no
Exactly. No
pay.
work, no pay, no love,
Right.
no love, no honey, no honey, no love.
Right. Right. So you have wifely duties. You might not have to do all of them all the time, but you still have wifely duties that you have to carry out on every day.
Well, what if the person is no longer in the household and
That day?
you're still legally bound to this person? You still have to carry on those wifely duties from a distance.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to carry them out from a distance because you never know when this motherfucker might come back.
What are you talking about, Joe?
I'm saying you want to talk about this hypothetical. What if the person's not in the household? So do you still have to carry them? Yeah,
That may be some case for some people.
right. But that's what I'm saying. And well, I'm not gonna say only because I hate to use like absolutes when it comes to anything. But I tell you like this: in most situations, unless you separated, you and this person know that you separated, and there's a chance that it might not work out, it might not come back. You still have to act as if you still married when you get married. Because what was the point of saying I do from the beginning? You could have just stayed in the boyfriend and girlfriend thing
I
and
agree.
could have said you was on the break. You feel me? So I just think that marriage is just the next step or the next level of commitment. You feel me? Because that's what it actually is. It's commitment.
Yeah.
You feel me? So
But
yeah.
it's sometimes it can be hard for people that can't handle um certain situations because marriage, I'm not gonna, for example, there's people that make mistakes, they struggle, do whatever in their marriage, and sometimes they learn from that. And sometimes those marriages bounce back even stronger because of this situation that took place. There's,
Right.
but there comes to a point where if that individual is not willing to be that partner through those dark times, how do you even, what do you say? I give up. Like, how can
No, you don't. You have to be. I think there's some certain parts of this thing. It only works if you being direct. You feel me? If a person, is not behaving in a way or not, you know, functioning the way that you want them to function, so far as in a relationship, speaking
Mhm.
only in a relationship, if they not functioning the way that you want them to function in a relationship, all you could do is tell them your point of view. All you can do is tell them what you want them to do, and if they don't do it, this is how you feel about them, not doing that. You feel me? This is what you need from them.
What if they
So,
change that?
huh?
What if they don't change that?
If they don't change what you need them to change.
And not even if it's what I need. I think I don't like how that's worded. What I need, it's what's best for the relationship. It's what's healthy for the relationship.
Right. What's healthy for the relationship, what the it's yeah, what's healthy for the relationship. That's a more PC thing. I like to say what I need for this
Well,
relationship to work.
it depends, like, because not that it depends. For specifically emotional needs, mental, like that mental support, instead of someone
Right.
saying, oh, well, go get a therapist. That's not for me.
Right. Well, for me, like I say, I like to tell the person directly, hey, this is what I need from you. And what do you need from me? I'm willing to give you what you need from me. And
Mhm.
that's what's going to make us, or that's what the relationship needs, is what I need from you and what you need from me. Now, if you says that I can't do this or whatever, or I could compromise with this and I could compromise with that, it's supposed to be about compromise, right? So if we compromising together, then it makes more sense. But if it's me compromising and you not compromising on nothing, then that's a problem. You feel me? I like to think of relationships almost like a business deal. You feel me? There's
Partnership.
some negotiations on both sides trying to get the most stuff that they want out of their part of the contract or the agreement, and you jockeying for position, and you hopefully could come to a mutual deal that makes sense for both of you. You feel me? Now, if you can never come to that deal or that agreement, then you have to part ways. That's the
The
only way that
only
you can go
reason
about
why
it.
it's not an agreement is because someone is it's there's like I said, love never fails. You could always work through whatever it is that you got to work through. It all depends what your motive is. If
Wow.
what happened?
Where do you get this shit from, Ellie? Why do you pull this stuff out of your ass, dog?
Thinking about me, we still done.
He
Okay.
pulls this stuff out of his ass, boy. If she cheat,
If
ain't no coming back. A lot of men do feel like that, though.
Yeah, a lot of women do too.
No, 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 no. It's not the same
Though how is it not the same?
because it's a violation. It feels like we was violated. It feels like we got touched by that guy. If our woman were to go out there and cheat, we feel like we
Well,
got
that
touched.
depends. What is your definition of cheating? Because now there's different kind of cheating. There
Oh
is
no, 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 no.
no,
We
just
we
be understanding, Joe.
right.
women, what do women lack what do women crave in a relationship with a man that most men can't give? If you could think about it. Like, what are they always, what is it that you feel makes a woman feel loved?
Y'all, I know, but I don't like saying it.
I know, because that's the problem.
Right. I know.
That is part of the problem.
No,
And a
that's
lot
not
of
a part
people,
of the problem.
yes, it is,
It's
because
no, y'all have to earn it. That's why I'm saying I don't like to
y'all
say
don't have
it.
to earn it. How
No,
would
we don't.
love unconditionally and love their spouse no matter what? They're going to work with them through their problems, no matter the chaos that they put them through, no matter the 15 kids they had with other women, no matter what, they're still standing there by them.
He
But if
says attention and emotion.
attention and emotion, it's not necessarily attention, it's
Being vulnerable.
yeah, that's all I said earlier. No, not really.
That's
um
what do women want? No, you ain't gonna run off that point. What do women want in a
what do you
relationship that men can't give?
that man can't give?
That's what you just said.
Oh,
What do
that find it
women?
hard. Like, it's hard for them to give that the emotional. They find it hard to give this. They don't like to be vulnerable. Everything that a woman will want. What Ellie said, a man can't give that. Can you be vulnerable?
He's clearly, if he said it, he knows that's what you want. Like,
But can he be vulnerable?
yeah, of course, men can be vulnerable. Listen. And I'm not gonna speak for him. He can speak for himself clearly in the comments. He's been doing it this whole time. But yeah, he's saying that because he knows that men can give that shit. I can definitely give all those things. I
She has to
have given
earn it.
all those
She
things.
has to earn it. That's
She
what you're.
has to earn it. That's the only thing. She
So
has to
what
earn
do you
it.
guys have to earn?
What do we have to earn? We have to earn
Who are
every
you to
inch.
tell us what we earn? That's
Wait,
not.
wait, 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 wait,
That
wait,
is
wait, wait, wait.
that's
Pause.
God's decision. That's not you.
Pause. First of all, we have to earn everything at every step of the way from the female. Okay. There is no point in time that we go to, like when we first start talking to the girl, we have to earn her her continuing to want to talk to us, her consistency, if you will, her consistently communicating with. We have
I
to
don't
earn
like
her communication.
I don't like the earn part. It sounds so possessive. Like, I don't know.
What?
I don't know. It's just
See, no. See, this is your problem. You gotta get
maybe
past
change
these
the verbiage.
words.
Change the verbiage.
Nah, we're not changing no verbiage because that's what it is. You have to
You
earn it.
can't earn, like, okay.
LeBron James said, "Earn, not given."
That contradicts the giving and receiving.
How's that contradict giving and receiving?
Because when you give selflessly. You don't give.
Oh no. You on this trip? You on this whole ooh
But that's
trip?
love. That's love. There's none of that with real love.
We
That
we
mentality
not there
right
yet.
there is why 50% of marriages like fail. That is why.
No.
It's
We
that.
not there yet. We not there yet. We not to the selfless giving part yet.
Yes, we
We're
are.
no. I'm saying. I'm talking about in
Look how you're thinking.
relationships.
It's a selfish mindset. They have to earn it. What do
Yeah.
you are not made out of gold. Like, why is
What?
it a woman has to earn a ring and a man just sits on it, just
What?
what he needs to do? That's it.
What? You really think that men just sit there?
No, that's not what I said. That's what
You
I was about
really
to say.
you really think that we don't earn the ability to talk to you, get your number, take you out on dates?
No,
You
I'm
don't
not
think men
talking
earn
about
it?
that. I'm talking about
No,
in a
no, no.
marriage.
All right, well, let's go from the beginning. Let's go. I'm going from the beginning. From before you meet a person, before a man meets a woman, he has to earn her number. Does he not? She don't
So
just give him
it
his.
serves her.
Listen, wait. So if I walk up to a female, and I just think that she look good, I say, "Give me your number." You think she gonna say yeah?
No.
Okay. So in some way, I have to work to get her number, right?
That's a phone number. That's not a
Wait.
person.
Let's stick with it. Let's stick with that. Do I have to work to get her number?
Marriage fails not because of money. Marriage fails because of your output.
Ignore Ellie. Ignore Ellie. I'm gonna turn the
Ignore
comments off.
because he has a comment.
Uh,
So, financial responsibility. Did you know there's something called financial infidelity?
yeah. I know.
Wait, did you know that?
But you running from this point. I
No,
want
I'm
you to run
answering
from
your
this
question
point.
because at the end of the day, it's your audience, and this is what your audience wants, not what you want.
Ellie keeps
Selfless.
talking crap though. He's
Selfless.
gonna do this.
You're being
He's
selfish.
he's gonna do this. No, you just want to respond to it because you want to go back and forth with him because he's hurt. But
No,
of
I
course,
just I want clarity. I want him to know that not all women are like that.
okay.
There are
Well,
successful marriages.
we're gonna get to that point. We're gonna get to that point where we're gonna respond to his comment. But let's stick with this first point. Like I said, what is it? Do men do we not have to earn the ability to talk to the female? That's the first. That's the tip of the iceberg. The
It's
beginning.
both. I mean, when you mean like introduction, like approaching a woman, like
Approaching a woman. When you
okay,
first approach the woman,
when you approach a woman, I mean, just like in the animal kingdom, you have to put on this fancy show. Like and it depends like what you're putting out. What part of yourself are you showing to this woman? Are you showing her that you are capable of loving her unconditionally? Are you sure? But you're not thinking about all that in the beginning. Most men don't. Like they see something that look good, they're like, ooh, their mind is not. I don't think most men mind are going straight to marriage. This is the woman that I want to marry.
you're running from the point again.
I'm not running from the point.
I asked you a question. I said, do
I
men
don't
not have
know.
to
Like
earn? Do we have to earn the ability to talk to her? Do we have to earn her phone number in some way?
if you want to set like a, I don't know, like if you have to earn her phone number,
Right. Do we have to talk to her nicely? Do we have to
why
compliment
does
her?
that
Do we
be
have to
so
seem
complicating? Why can't it just be like you have to be respectful and that's it?
I don't think that that's gonna get that's gonna get your number,
A
get a
female that
female
is.
number.
Listen, when I met Kirk in the club, he was like, "Can I get your number?" I was like, "No." He was like, "What?" I said, "No." Like, are you
And
sure?
then what? And then what?
Yeah,
What? And
you
then what?
tell my friend. He was like, she don't want to give me her number. And she was like, "You don't know a good guy when you see one." And then she gave him my number. Like I didn't even give him my number because
She gave it to him, but he had to put in work. He had to go talk to your friend and tell her, "Hey, man, I don't know what's up with her. She don't want to give me a number." But
he
anyways,
could have just been like, "Okay, whatever, that's fine." But the fact
right,
that he put in the effort, it's effort, not like
right.
it's the
That's
effort.
oh my God, that's the same thing. That
No,
means
it's
that
not.
you're working to earn it.
Listen, it's
What do
not.
you?
Earn, it just sounds so like degrading. Like, I don't know. It's
So
effort.
when you go to work, you earn money. Is that degrading
So
that you
you put in
earned
your
your money?
effort and you work to get paid and you put in. There's people that go to work and be like, that's not in my job description. That don't mean
What's
you
the
can't.
definition of earned?
The definition of earn is, I don't know. Let's look it up, Joe.
Let's look at it. I'm gonna do a share screen and let's look up earned, the definition of earned. Because
Obtain money in return for labor or services. Of an act, cause someone to obtain money. Capital invested, gain money as interest or profit. So y'all sitting out here treating us like dollar signs, and then y'all getting
y'all
mad.
treating what? We treating y'all like dollar signs? Well, don't do that. Don't do that.
See, earn is
Don't
monetary.
do that.
Like,
Don't do that. Don't do that. We ain't treating
let's say
y'all like dollar
effort. You got to
signs.
put in an effort, and that's not. It's not an exchange. It's not a. It's not a. Why would you say earn? Like you got to earn this ring. Well, what?
It just mean obtain. Another words that are similar to earn: receive, get, make, obtain, draw, clear, collect, bring in, pocket, pull in, rake in, bank. We know it. We know these terms to be, associated with some type of monetary values. But at the end of the day, it could be whatever you want it to be. You feel me? We just speaking, creatively, of course.
Yeah,
That
but it puts
earn.
different. It puts out a different.
Okay, so let's say he has to obtain the female's number, right?
Nah, that's not what I was talking about.
No, 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 no,
Not
no,
what
no.
the woman has to do to work for the man to get married. Like why is
No,
but I know, but
we too
that's my
far.
understanding right now. You're talking about just approaching someone. That's what we clarify. You're just talking about
Right.
approaching someone. So I'm
And
trying to
that's what I'm talking about.
everything is all the same to me. Sorry. I just look at everything as a whole. One people. Sorry. All right. So to get a girl's someone want to learn how to approach, like first you can't be scared. You have to be confident. Girls look at confidence. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Right.
I remember I had this guy, he came out, he's like, damn girl, you a dub. I said, I had to look up the Urban Dictionary to find out what the hell a dub was. Like, I was like, okay, I don't know what that
A
means.
dub 20.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what he
A
said.
dub usually mean that it's nix it, it's over with. It's not, it's not worth it. That's what dub means
Well, I
for
don't.
20.
Well, he said that after I didn't like. I wasn't like I didn't understand anything that he was saying. Like the lingo, the verbiage, how he was coming
Right.
at. I didn't
So he
understand.
said it's a dub. He said it's a dub.
No,
You a dub.
he didn't say it's a dub. He said, "Damn girl, I'm not even gonna lie. Like you're a dub. Like, and he just kept saying things over and over. Like, oh, when I'm gonna see you, when I'm gonna see you, when I'm gonna see you, and I'm just like, I had to delete my
What?
Facebook. I had to delete my Facebook. I couldn't handle it anymore.
What?
I did. It's look. I don't know. I don't know. And I found it disrespectful because I was like, I didn't say anything, but I'm thinking to myself, like, why don't you just say, hey, like, what's up?
Where's this dude from?
I don't know. I didn't
I
even
ain't never heard that term used that way. But
I don't know.
anyways, like I said, getting a hollering at a female, getting a number, whatever, whatnot. We have to do some type of jockeying. We have to do some type of work to get the number. Whether it be making sure your appearance is on point, whether it be making sure what you're saying to her is interesting or intriguing enough for her to,
I
say,
think
hey,
you just be your authentic self. And that's the problem. Like men approach women with this different persona who they're not because they're trying to please her. You're trying to get this specific female.
right.
You're trying to attract who's going to be happy with who you are. And if the way that you're coming is disrespectful, work on your manners. Like work on the way that you approach a woman. Go back to Shakespeare time. Go read something. But it's just to a point where that, oh, hey girl, come here. Let me get your phone number. Like I'm not a bid in some kind of like I don't know. I don't know. It's awkward. Just what's out there is just
Okay. All right. So that's whatever. Men have to work to get the female number.
oh, they
So
don't
men have to earn the woman's number in
they
some
don't
way.
have to do that. That
They
is
have to
more
obtain
perspective.
the female's number in some way, shape, form, or
It's called
fashion.
courting, since I've been telling you.
All right. So let's speed past that. After you get the number, after you get the digits, and you start talking to her, then you have to take her out on dates.
You don't have to.
Yes, you do. You
But
have to.
why?
You
Why
have to
can't
become
you cook for her?
familiar.
Why can't
You
you
have to
cook
get.
for her?
You have to bond with
Why
her.
can't you take her
What?
to the mall? Why can't y'all go for a walk in the park?
Why can't I? Why can't you? What?
Why you gotta
Cook?
spend money?
Because women these days understand when you spending that bread on them. They
So you
they don't like a cheap. They don't like a cheap guy. Women don't like cheap guys.
you know what
This
me
is
and Brandon
proven.
first date was?
What?
Taco Bell.
I got so many jokes about that right now that I'm going to keep to myself. So when I see him, I'm going to unleash on that nigga with
But guess
jokes. But
what? We love as a family. We always did Taco Tuesdays, and it's
anyways,
about money, bro.
no quiero Taco Bell. But let's move forward past that. You have to take her out on dates, regardless if they're Taco Bells, if they're Chipotle, if
I guess I'm
they,
a cheap date.
huh?
I guess I'm a cheap date.
Right, with Pollo Tropical, it don't matter. You have to take her out somewhere. You have to feed her in some way
That's the
or
word right there.
entertain her.
You need to feed her.
And entertain her.
Not only physically, mentally, emotionally, everything. Financial is last. Like you said yesterday, like you said you could be in a cardboard box or some of you said like under a bridge or something like that. You could but you could go through the struggle with no money and still pull together because there is that love. You have each other, you're working on goals together. That is what it is. Like money is not just about that. If you meet a girl, you say hello, you say hi. If that's what a girl interest is, then you know where her mind is at. She don't see nothing in you but the dollar sign. Like that's it. And she's not gonna know what you got unless you're flashing it. If you going around like you're flashy, you got this, you got that, you got that. What you think you're gonna attract? Someone who's attracted to that. It's a fly. It's like, you know, the little bug lights. Like that's what the hell is gonna go to because that's what it likes. You're giving out that persona, but then you get mad when things don't go your way. Oh, she wants only money. But how did you?
I think that points out something inherently wrong with women today. Then, if that's the case,
It
because
is.
if it should be, you should
It
take
should,
that as a kind gesture. You should take
yeah.
that as me trying to show you a good time in
Mhm.
this particular moment. It's not necessarily that I'm going to always take you here. I'm not going to always do this with you, but in this moment, I'm taking you out and trying to show you a good time. It ain't necessarily that I got millions of dollars and I'm made of money. It's just that I feel like you're a special female. I want to show you a good time. I think that points out something fundamentally wrong with females that you just said, that if you give them an inch, they take a mile.
Mhm.
If they see the light on, they're gonna try and come in and rob the house blind. You feel me?
That's
I
what
think
they
that that's
tend
something.
to do. That's why you got to know, what is this person looking for? Hey, what are you looking for what are you looking for in a relationship? Like, because some
Hmm.
people are okay just having a fling. Some people are just okay with whatever it is that they're trying to feed at that moment. But
Oh, they are. People are okay with just
of
having a fling.
course, that's just the world. That's just the world we live in. It's
But peep this though. Most women won't be honest about that. Most people in general won't be honest about, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. You feel me? What, you with it or not? Because they're afraid of that rejection. So I think
They do
that
it all the
sometimes
time. They do it all the time on Tinder. They do it all the time on them dating websites.
Tinder never worked for me. Tinder never
What are
worked
you
for me.
looking for? They put married, but they over there looking for a little one night stand. Like, no, y'all trying to
Okay,
cheat
then
out here.
that's not being upfront about it. That's not being
Exactly.
like you looking for it. It's just that, hey, I think that when you're actively looking for something, you making your intentions clear to the universe and to other people.
Or
Hey, this is what I want to do in life. You feel me? When you're trying to be sneaky about it, or when you're trying to hide your intentions, that's not what you really want to do. Is what you're trying to trick somebody out of some pussy. You feel me? Is basically what you're trying to do with that.
yeah.
So at the end of the day, I still think that both of those two things are something inherently wrong with men and something inherently wrong with women.
So the
Where,
moral decline.
right, it's a moral decline where you're trying to get the most out of the situation. Females trying to get the most out of a man's pocket when they see that he got it or he's willing to spend it on them, and a man's trying to get the most out of them draws if he see that female might be down for it. If he ain't gonna tell her he in a relationship, he ain't gonna tell her, hey, you know, maybe I don't want a relationship with you, but I just want to smash. You feel me? He'll keep that close to the vest. So it's on both parts that they do this.
Yeah.
So I think that it provides a good balance, though.
Yeah.
That is like that, you know.
That's
But
it. If you can't be honest from the beginning, like,
mm-hmm,
people go into things being a lie. You come off with this persona like you got it, like you got money,
mm-hmm,
like you whatever it is, and that's a lie in itself. That's why I go back and I tell you, if you're gonna talk to a girl, be your most authentic self.
right.
Be who you are. If you approach her in a goofy way, if you're a funny person, tell her a joke. Show her a side of you that's already a part of you.
What if
Don't
you're a square?
if you hey bro, this is not for me. I mean, I'm not good at this, but like even the effort, like just that. Just
Right.
I'm not really good at this. This is I'm not can hey, what's your name? Like is
And
if
what
you
does that man do to keep that female interested? Like, say for instance, he don't got no game, if you will, because a lot of guys don't know how
ask
to talk
what
really
he's
well.
interested in.
Okay. So what if he sits around and talks about, I don't know, Naruto all day with a female? You think she's
Naruto.
Naruto, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't watch it. My nephews love it, and everybody I know loves it. I don't watch it though. It's too
It's
long, too
common.
much
It's
filler.
yeah. For
Yeah.
me, I like Marvel, and
Mm.
I gotta go and see every movie. Like if I don't see a movie, I feel like my life is over.
Right.
Yeah, I love superheroes. All of that is just
Right.
my fascination. And he their dad may not necessarily like it. He
Right.
might go just because I like it, and that's self-sacrificing.
Hmm. So
And
what
that
is it? What is it when you talking to a female, like when you're the dating phase, right? And say for instance, you run into that road bump where one person don't like this, but the other person do. What is it that you do to work around that to build that bond with that person?
well, like you said, compromise. Hey, I don't really like the beach. I'm not with the sand. Can we go? How about we go on a cruise instead? like, I don't know, or a day cruise. I don't know. But if she really likes to go to the beach and this is what she likes to do, the sacrifice, like just go one day, go sometimes. You don't have to go all the time. You don't have to go to every football game that your husband like. You can go sometimes. It's about the support. You buy him a football ticket. Buy her a spa day on the beach with her friends. Like, you don't like it doesn't mean that you can't provide that for her.
Okay. What I'm hearing is, if she don't like doing what you doing, you're gonna have to spend money to make sure she likes doing whatever it is she likes
No, I
doing.
mean, it depends what it is. You make it happen. Like, but if she can do it on by herself, if you can't afford to do that, recreate it. That's where the creativity comes in. That's where the effort comes in. That's where, a woman would appreciate a man that, if he can't afford a spa day to take him take her to the spa, recreate that spa at home. Pull
Okay.
out, light some candles, do this, have her relax, be that person for her for that moment. It'll mean so much more than spending money at a spa and letting her go off with her friends.
Okay.
Like, says a lot more because, like you said, it's the effort.
Okay. And that's even in the dating process that you're gonna do that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I could see how that would make a little bit of sense. But still, at the end of the
I know
day,
you gonna stick to your reason.
right, right. I'm gonna stick to what I think,
From
you
your
know.
narrative. All right. I get it.
I think that you build to all of that extra
Of
shit.
course.
You build my attentiveness, you feel me, if you will. Because that's when you're attentive to a person, you're willing to compromise and do what they want to do, or try to figure out ways to recreate what it is that they want to do.
Yeah.
You build to that level of level of attentiveness. I mean, you have a certain affinity with a person. You might like a person a lot when you first meet them, but you liking that person a lot can put you in a situation where you doing foolish shit. You know what I
Because
mean? You
you're not taking your time to slow down and really get
get
to
to
know
know them.
the person.
Right, right. And that sometimes,
You
like I
already
said,
give up at the end, and then you're blaming it on the other person when really, slow down.
right, you went above and beyond before you should have.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in that position before a lot of times where I went above and beyond before I should have. So I learned that lesson too, to dial it back, dial it back all the way, slow it down.
Because you
Now,
set the bar and you have to maintain that bar. You have to, oh, you bought me flowers, all this on our first day, and then now all of a sudden
mm,
flowers. No, it's all that nonsense. Like, don't pretend to be this person that you are not capable of being for the rest of
mm,
your life
mm,
while you guys are together, because that's what got her. That's what pulled her in. Don't
I don't think that it was pretending to be this person that I couldn't maintain. I was being that person and expecting them to be a person that I wanted them to be for me too. So that's another coin of it. Like when I did all of this work and this effort, I expect you to put in the same effort
you
that
were
I've been
treated
putting
the
in.
way you wanted to be treated, and if she failed to have that understanding, that was her error. But that was something that y'all had to communicate versus just calling each other out on it, and just really getting an understanding, like, hey, well, I'm not capable of buying you gifts the way you buy me. Like, I don't have the money like that, or whatever. Oh, well, you can compromise. There's always compromising. There's always
Hmm.
that
I
understanding.
tried. I tried. I remember I told this one girl, "You gonna have to, we've been going out on umpteen days. I didn't take you out every time I see you. We going out to eat. Can you at least cook a meal for me?" You know what she told me? Never guess what she said.
What she
She
said.
said, the one time that you ate something that I had, you said you didn't like my cooking. So no, I'm not gonna cook for you because you don't like my cooking. I was just like, what? It's like, I don't like your cooking. I said, don't you understand that, that might have been something I just don't like to eat? You
But
feel
you have
me?
to communicate that. But she didn't
I
ask.
said that.
She didn't communicate her feelings. Not at that moment. The communication has to happen at that time and place, because now that's where the argument comes in. You guys are arguing
Hmm.
about something that happened before, when it should have been communicated right then and there, or even the next day,
Right.
or you try to bring, hey, this made me feel like this. Oh, well, you shouldn't feel, you're too sensitive. Like,
Hmm.
people get brushed off. Like, it's hard. Communication is hard. That's one
Yeah.
of the most things that causes relationships to tear apart is the communication. If you have no communication, that means there's no love and there's no respect. Those are
Right.
two important things right there. You don't have, I love you, but I'm not capable of listening to what you have to say or taking your feelings into consideration.
You jumping the gun on this love thing, man. I'm just talking about dating.
Oh, well,
Okay.
I mean,
I
that's
know it's been a long time. I know it's been a long time since you've been in that part of the process, right? It's been a long time since you've been in that part of the
what
process.
the dating
But
process.
yes. But
Okay,
I will tell you this. All that love stuff that you talking about, that comes later on down the road. We ain't there yet.
but
We're in great like. You're in great like in the
but
dating process.
I mean, it works both ways. Okay, like
Mm-hmm.
so in love, in marriage, in a relationship where someone
In
is
like, in
your
like.
friend, okay, you're in like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're learning how to build this unconditional love in order if you want to have that get to there, or that's the thing. What is the motive? Because if your goal is not like a sustainable, healthy relationship later on, a real partnership, if your goal is not companionship, if that's not what you're looking for, why are you wasting your time?
No, that is what you're looking for, but I just think that, I don't think that you put that out there yet. You have to naturally go into that. I think that that's a natural thing you flow into. If you
Communication.
like, no, 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 into love. I think that as long as you set a parameter that, hey, listen, we're gonna always communicate how we feel. You feel me? And as long as there's that willingness to put effort in on both sides. I can't be the only one that want to put the effort in and put
Mhm.
and do what it takes. You have to also want it as bad as I want it for this to work out. Now, if you don't want it as bad as I do, I'm going to find out relatively quickly because the things that I want, I fight for very,
Yeah.
very hardly. So, I mean, very, very hard. I mean, so if, and I think that that's the discourse. I think that that's the disconnect that people don't want stuff. They don't want common things at the same level. Like you don't want it as bad as I do. So when I'm putting in the effort on my end, it's always gonna seem like I'm doing the most. You feel me? And you're doing the least. And when I tell you that, you're gonna get offended. You're gonna be like, well, this is all I can give you.
Mm-hmm.
Take it or leave it. And for me, if you tell me anything to take or leave, and this is all I'm gonna get,
You
I
gonna
don't like I'm gone.
that's
I
any
don't
person. There
I
is
don't I
no ultimatum in finding love.
right.
There is not that you have to give a part of yourself to show. And that's the thing where you're like, oh, you got to earn this. But really, I, as a human being, you have to, when I say love in that perspective, you're getting to know each other. I, it's in the same boat as respect.
Mhm.
So you're telling me that you have to earn respect. So
You do.
if I communicate with you and I say, "Oh, it wasn't that you like my eating. I meant my the food that I cook." Well, what is your favorite food? Like,
Right.
would that make you feel loved? Like, would that make you feel cared about? Would that make you feel
Right.
respected? That's
Right.
what I mean. Like,
And then if you mess up on that dish, then we got a real problem.
I told Brandon straight up. I said, I didn't learn how to cook. I never learned to cook. I don't like to cook, but I could clean. Like I'll clean. Like I'll do everything. I'll do whatever. But I do not like to do the cooking. I don't like to cook. Does that make me less of a woman?
Nah.
But
But she,
that's how I was made to feel by other
oh,
people, not specifically him.
I
But
would, hey, listen, peep this. I always gonna find a use. You tell me what you like to do. Yeah, that's why I told you the other day. I'm the head coach. I figure out a use for you in this mother. You say, oh, you don't like to cook, but you like to clean. I say, all right, so when I come home, I'm gonna throw shit everywhere, and you gonna clean that shit up. All right, no problem. You feel me? I'm gonna cook every day. I'm gonna make sure the dishes is clean or whatever. I'm gonna make sure you gonna always eat. But shit, I'd be damn. I come home and I sweep a mop. You got like fucked up.
you shouldn't have to because that was an agreement. But people go into expectation and don't open their
Mm,
mouth and they don't say nothing. They just expect, oh, it's common sense. This is what you do. No, it's not common sense because what works for you don't work for the next person.
right.
What works in this person's relationship doesn't work for this person's relationship because y'all have different needs. You have
Mm,
different fulfillments. You have things that you need to work on. And not only that, it's like I don't want to not ever cook. I would get recipes. I would look things up. I would call my mom. The same thing Brandon would do because he didn't really know how to cook. So we would call our parents and ask them, hey, how do you make this? How do you make that? I didn't make fun of him because of that. I never, complain that, oh, you don't cook, you don't do this. But if I cook, the least you can do is wash the dishes, especially if I clean too. If you clean or he cooks, the least I can do is wash the dishes. I'm not just going to throw the dirty dishes because you agree to clean Monday, you clean Wednesday, whatever the case is. Then when you have, kids involved, you get them involved too in a marriage. But boyfriend and girlfriend, like I said, it's receive, give and take. You receive and you give and you receive. I mean, it's just what it is.
Yeah, that's very, very true. I think that the boyfriend and girlfriend thing is a whole different level of relationship mastery in itself. I ain't gonna lie to you. Them boyfriend and girlfriend things don't be hitting like they supposed to. A lot of people, I wonder how they get into a marriage, you feel me, when you ask a person to do something and that person just like, nah, I'm not doing it.
Well,
You
that's
feel
the
me?
thing. I think that's where, hold on.
Especially if it's something like I really need you to do
You
this
can't
for me.
expect for back then people would just, and that's not the world that we live in today, but back then people married their daughters off. Like, okay, this is who you're gonna marry, whatever. And they had to do their wifely duties. It wasn't like, oh, you're gonna take her for 12 months and see if she's capable of being a good wife. She's taught in her household how to be a good wife.
Right.
He's taught in his household how to be a good husband.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's important for you to get to know what environment these people are being raised in. When you get to know them, you're not only getting to know them, you're getting to know this person. That thought of marriage shouldn't even be something right now. You should just focus on getting to know this person.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And seeing, like, that's why when you ask me, oh, when did you know you want to be married? I know I want to be married right away because I want a family. Like,
Right.
it's just what
No,
it is.
you have that goal of wanting to be married to somebody, but at the same time, you don't know which person that is until you
Or
meet them.
how to go through the process, what to look for, what makes a capable wife, what makes a capable husband.
Right, right. So those are all important facts, important things that you got to know in order to get into that process. But before you even get into that process, you have to, like I said, like I told my friend, it's a numbers game for us right now. Like you don't know who's going to be that person that you're going to be married to. When you're in the dating process or when you're in the talking phase with a bunch of different people, whatever. Like a lot of women like to try to make it sound like, oh, you have to talk to one person at a time, when and essentially nobody talks to one person at a time. They talk to multiple people. They might like different people on different levels, right? But they only see themselves with a select amount out of that group, right? See themselves in a relationship with a select amount out of that group. Men are a little bit different in that capacity, where we can see ourselves smashing almost every female that we got in our phone. But the woman that we see ourselves with, we don't know until we get to a point where we like, damn, like, like this is a good girl, man. I better not mess up. I better keep her around, type of deal. Like we don't know until we get to that point that this is the person that we're gonna marry. You feel me? Before that, it's just all, the same. It's just all, hey man, this one look like that one look like that. Let me slide on her right quick, see what's what. You
She
feel
could be
me?
a whole demon in disguise.
Huh?
She could be a whole demon in disguise.
Man, I didn't met a few of them. I didn't met a few dragons. Met a few vampires, you feel me?
Suck the whole life out of you.
I just sucked the whole life out of me, literally.
And your bank account and everything.
Physically and figuratively, sucked the whole life out of me.
Oh Lord.
So, yeah, man. Yeah, I've been down that road a few times, and one of the things about it too, every female that, I've spent time with, I see all of them as, some sort of lessons that I had to learn. You feel me? As to where I don't see it as like, oh nah, like,
This ain't working out. Well,
yeah, this ain't work out. No, I see it as like, oh, I could name, which one taught me. This one taught me this one taught me that, that one taught me that. You feel me? That's just how I see them, as just lessons for me. You feel me? And I'm more laid back and what they call that, free spirited. So, if this one doesn't want, if this one doesn't want to do what I asked for us to work out, then that's fine. It's just we just not gonna be together. We can do other things.
But you have to reword that. It's both of you. Because there's certain things that maybe she may need for you for this to work out, or and vice versa. It has to
No,
work
I'm
both.
gonna do that regardless. Whatever it is that that's what I'm saying. My personality is I'm trying to go 110.
Yeah.
So from the jump, if you tell me you like this, I'm gonna try and do that. If you tell me you want to go here, I'm gonna try and get you there. That's my personality, is to try to
Mm-hmm.
please, to try to
Mm-hmm.
make sure you're comfortable. So that's what I'm saying. When that's naturally who I am, all I ask is for certain things on your end to take place, and if it don't take place on your end, I say, well, I guess you don't fuck with me like that. So I got to bounce, because people make time for whatever it is that they want to make time for, and people will do right by whoever
Yep.
it is they want to do right by. So
Yeah.
what am I wasting my time over here trying to get you to do right by me if you don't want to? You feel me?
Exactly.
So I just learned to live and let live. You know,
Yep.
if
That's
a
what I'm
hoe want to be a hoe, let her go.
Yep.
She belongs to the streets. If
I just
she's
he as well.
no
Both,
she,
it's both ways.
no she.
It's the
It's
same
more than
thing
likely her way.
women go through. A lot of women go through where men are not. They commit to other things instead of what they need to commit to. They
Mhm.
build on top of other things instead of building where it needs to be built. Where you laid your foundation originally, you want to put bricks on somebody else's foundation. Like that's
True.
just not how it's gonna work.
I think people are complicated. I think that we as people, we as human beings are very complicated, complex individuals with a bunch of deep thoughts and emotions buried upon deep thoughts and emotions. And that's what make this process hard of getting to know another person, because you got to sift through all of that on top of whatever emotional triggers that they have or landmines that they have that you're going to set off. So, that's what make the whole process of bonding with people and getting to know people so difficult. That's why some females and some males will go back to their exes, because hey, this person knows my devils. This person knows what it
Yeah,
is that
their trauma, their past trauma.
right, right. And that's where the level of complacency comes from. Certain
Mhm.
times where people stay in a man will stay in a sexist marriage, or a woman to stay in an abusive relationship. That's where that comes from. That person knows my devils. But I don't think that we as people should ever get comfortable with that. I think that we should always try to strive for what makes us happy at the end of the day. And not saying that you're supposed to bounce on everybody that the
Yeah,
minute they don't do what you want them to do. It's
exactly.
like you try as hard as you can to make things work.
And
And it
then it's not clicking.
right. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta go.
Yeah. And and that's the part that it hurts.
Yeah,
It
because you
hurts.
end up losing yourself in a situation like that where you don't push
Hmm.
the eject button on time. Like you don't forgot to push that eject button. You let the damn plane crash, thinking trying to save something that you are on two different points on the map. Like y'all
Right.
not on the same. Like, it's,
Exactly. Exactly. We all have been there before once you get up to a certain, and then I think that too, as you're young, remember, you haven't been around for that long if you're 30. If you're in the
yeah.
30 plus club, you ain't been around for that long. And I think that this is the part where we start to mature and become the actual adults that we're gonna be for the rest of our lives. I
Mhm.
think that in our 20s, we were making dumb mistakes. We didn't know nothing. And when we was like 16, 17, we was children.
Just
We didn't know about this world. So we had basically 10 years to try to figure out how all of this stuff worked. And there's
mhm.
so many different levels and layers. Remember, you got your professional success, your career, you feel me? Then you got your uh personal or relationship, the way that's going to go, and you want to make that successful. Then you got your personal health that you have to take care of. And then you got family layered on top of that. And then you
Yeah.
got your relationship with your spirituality. It's so many different layers and levels to our life that we have to kind of try to master, or we try to have to kind of seek progress and growth in all of these phases. It's so easy to forget. It's so easy to mess up in any part of that process. You feel
Yeah.
me?
The reason why it's hard to forget is because it's all one code. Just respect, understand that we are on time,
Borrowed time.
borrowed time, understanding that love, no matter what, not even in a relationship, just loving your neighbor, loving your whoever, just it's the respect,
Mm-hmm.
respecting the individual and leaving out the buffers. Like, this is not necessary. All these other details are not necessary. Let's focus on what we can change, kind of thing. Like, I can't change that I made you feel that way. I'm sorry, but you have to move forward and focus on what you can change and work on those things that you can change. And most people just get stuck in the thing that we can't change and they become slaves to that. And they hurt other people and they carry this trauma and they're miserable and they're sad and they're suicide. Like, this, you have to
Mm-hmm.
focus. You have to change it from worrying about the things that you can't control to worrying about the things that you can. And through that, that's where, you take off, you grow as a person. You're not worried about all that extra nonsense. It's just, don't even
Mm-hmm.
care anymore.
Yep. Your growth and development and your peace should always be your primary focus.
First.
You know?
Yeah.